Grapsody with Will, Phil, and Reg, trying to keep it real instead of what you usually get from these talking heads. It's Grapsody, we're here to fill the void. 3 black fans, different perspective, gotta fill your voice. Coming with the podcast, talking majors, indies in between. Yeah, it's all that, and we're down with Fightful, better fall back. Coming for respect, we connect like a ball bat. No need to double check, these are all facts. You're listening to us talk raps. You're listening to us talk raps. Will, Phil, and Reg. Yeah, we're Grapsody, here to talk raps. Yeah, we're Grapsody, here to talk raps.
Morning. It is I. It is he. This is Grapsody. I'm Phil Lindsey. Of course, I'm here with Righteous Reg. How are you this morning?
It's your favorite rapper, your favorite writer, your favorite podcaster. I said it was cold, Philip Lindsey, and then you said it was snowing in Chicago. And I was like, it's not that cold in California, I think I was over-exaggerating how cold it is here. So shout out to Snow and the people that are dealing with that. Yeah, it's Grapsody. It's Media Man. It's Saturday. I'm excited to be here. What's up with you, Phil?
Yeah, pretty good holiday weekend. I don't know what you did for Thanksgiving. I went and had dinner with family, kind of low key, but it was cool.
Nice. Yeah, no, mine's a super low key. I stayed in Oakland this year because my mom wanted to go to the beach and spend Thanksgiving there. So I was like, have fun, lady, do your thing. And I went to eat sushi in San Francisco with a lady friend. So that was fun.
Sushi on Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
All right.
It's very California. And I felt like, we're in the Bay Area. Of course, we're in San Francisco eating sushi on Thanksgiving. It's kind of what life would be like sometimes.
No yams, like
no yams,
mac and cheese, like a poke bowl. You eat a poke bowl on Thanksgiving. That's crazy.
There was some yams there, but not the sushi for sure.
I had very traditional Thanksgiving dinner. I was a little nervous. Chicago Bears are undefeated in the month of November, which is kind of crazy to me. I thought coming into this season, I looked at our schedule and I was like, okay, we got the Eagles, defending champions. I circled that as a loss. So I was like, well, we're going to lose that one. It's cool. I'm already prepared for it. But because we had already won all of our games up to this week, I was like, it's fine. They got 8 wins. I did not expect us to have as many wins up to this point. Chicago Bears are 9-3, guys. 5 games in a row. Number 1 in the division. 2nd in the NFC. It's been a long time since it felt this good to be a Chicago Bears fan. I gotta tell you, man, winning feels pretty good.
9-3. That's if you'd have said 9-3 and the Bears are going to be 9-3 at the beginning of the season, I'd be like, good luck, man. I'm like, that's an interesting concept. Season. Like I'd like to see that, but they've been killing it, Phil. I don't know what the hell's going on in Chicago.
Nah, started season 0-2. Listen. I have to give it up to my old man. He called me, and this is just how good this felt to win. I think it's possibly because the Eagles won a championship last year, and so beating the defending champions in Philadelphia, it felt very improbable for a lot of us. And so this almost felt like we won a Super Bowl because I mean, people were calling me like, "Hey, where are you, man? You watching the game?" And like, I watched it with family. This was like a big to do, and so I have to give it to my old man because. He said, coming into the season, he was like, they're going to win 10 games. I was like, Dad. Now, listen, my dad is a homer. I mean, homer. So I was like, all right, 10 games. That's kind of crazy. I don't know about all that.
I hear you. All right. Okay.
He was like, no, they're going to win 10 games. I said, all right. And so they had the season started. They started 0-2, and then they started winning games. I was like, okay, well, 10 games is still a lot of games, Dad. I don't know. So when they won last night, that guy called me with his chest all puffed out. Yeah, 9 wins, man. I only need 1 more win. I told you 10 games.
Listen, I'm not mad at him taking his victory lap. Y'all been I don't want to say y'all been waiting for this, but it's been a long time since y'all have had like a winning season and been excited about the team that's presented there. So I'm excited for Chicago Bears fans because it's been some heartbreak out there. I'll tell you what.
It's a bad. Yeah. Ben Johnson, the winner circle again is giving out free hot dogs because I guess the bet this time that Ben Johnson would not take his shirt off in the locker room, and so they show the huddle every time at We Win Now, and he comes in there, gives away the game ball, and he does the same chant every time: "Good, better, best." And so this time they started it. My man was in the middle of the huddle, took his shirt off. I was like, nah. Yeah, it's just, bro, the energy in that locker room. I was like, bro, hasn't felt this good to be a Bears fan in a long time, man. This is a miserable team. I think the last time they've won this many games is about 2018, so 7 years ago. The last time I saw the stat was the last time the Bears have beat a defending champion at their home arena was 1988.
Oh my God.
A lot of years of bad football from this organization. Not a perfect team. A lot of these games we're winning them. Very shaky wins, but
definitely.
When I saw some people getting ready to try to gloat too as soon as we finished out the first half of the season. Like, all right, well, y'all got all y'all easy teams out the way. Y'all got the Eagles coming up. I seen some people saying, "Oh, they're not going to win no more games. That's it." Y'all keep waiting, man. Y'all keep waiting. And people keep saying we're fraud. Keep trying to say we ain't beat nobody. Hey, man, we beat the champions. I don't want to hear it no more. I don't want to hear that no more. We are number one in the division, possibly heading to the championship, heading to the playoffs. Haven't been in the playoffs in about 5 years. Come on, man. I don't want to hear any more of this fraudulent talk. I've seen some Detroit Lions fans trying to hate.
Of course.
You know, now you got Ben's problems over there now. Nah, man. Ben's over here. Ben's making us look like winners, man.
Listen, shout out to Chicago. Shout out to free hot dogs. Straight up. That's always a good thing. And shout out to some wins. Do you think is the goal here to win the whole thing or just to get to the playoffs and have a good showing? Because there's been a bunch of different times that the Bears have gotten. You can't do all of that. You can't be there.
No. The last time I did that, and I felt like we were winning a championship that year. You can tell me nothing that year. That year, Devin Hester was running back kicks everywhere.
Absolutely.
We started the season undefeated. Yeah, you couldn't tell me nothing that year. I thought for sure this is the year we're winning a championship. We went to Super Bowl. We lost to Peyton
Manning. Yeah, I remember that.
I can't do all of that. Making it to the playoffs, that sounds fun. Might actually get to see some fun games, get to see them playing the playoffs. Cool. But I can't do the championship thing anymore. I know that there's some people that are like, this is a very calm response to them winning 9 games.
Absolutely.
It is. We've got a team that I hate next week. Got the Green Bay Packers coming up.
Woo. Tough one.
I think we got to play them twice because we haven't played them at all yet. Got Detroit again, split with Minnesota already. Nothing else will matter. If we make it to playoffs and lay an egg, none of that will matter. If we go and we beat the Packers twice this season, that's enough. that's totally enough. People were trying to. That was the other thing. Oh, we're playing the Steelers. Aaron Rodgers is going to come here. Listen, man, he's washed. Knock it off. This guy is cooked. Get him up out of here, bro. Aaron Rodgers is done. It's over.
That Steelers helmet don't even look right on him. Like every time I see him, I'm like, something about this don't hit right. And he washed. I'm with you, Phil. Like, get him out of here. He's not a threat to Chicago. It's fine. Bring him in. What are you gonna do?
He ain't a threat to nobody. But yeah, no, we're coming. Green Bay, we're coming for you next week. I don't want to over predict. It feels really good right now. They could easily do what they always do and go into Green Bay and lose. And wouldn't I be shocked by that? Green Bay isn't very good though, so I've already seen some Green Bay Packers fans trying to hype up this team and go, "Oh, the Bears aren't that good. We can still win a division." Now y'all suck. Sorry, I ain't trying to.
But these are usually those games, Phil, the rivalry games, the history games, the games that are going to be tough regardless of schedules and wins and all that. So this is like the most dangerous a team could be against the Bears, I feel,
Yeah. Confidence is high though, man. I don't.
Yeah.
Listen, I saw Gilly doing this sad rant over with his big hat in front of his TV. I was just like, yeah. I don't know if you guys saw it, but I'm not a big fan of Christmas, but watching those Philadelphia Eagles fans start going out of the arena early when they realized we were going to win. At Home Alone 2, where the attendant at the desk at the same time as the Grinch had that big smile on his face. Mm-hmm. That was the same for me. I was sitting looking at the screen. I was like, yep. Y'all go at home, man. I know y'all paid a lot of money for them seats. Y'all got some leftovers at home. I bet them leftovers are going to taste real good when you get home, man.
Eat traffic.
Get on up out of here, man. It's a W, man. Big bad. I was so surprised that Philadelphia didn't look good either. I think that their offense not looking good helped us out a lot. Mm-hmm. But again, what is a win? Chicago Bears, man. Can't get too hyped. My dad called me. He was like, "Yeah, well, 12 wins now." He's now saying 12. I was like, "Oh, well." He got up to Andy now already. I got up to Andy because he was talking about the entire time the season was starting. I'm betting everybody 10 games. Listen, I gotta give him his credit, man. He was right.
10 games.
He was like, "Nah, they're gonna win 10 games."
They almost there. One more. He about to be. Woo! Ain't nobody tell him nothing after they win 10.
That 10th game in Green Bay, buddy.
They about to be dancing in them Chicago streets. They about to be juking all over the place.
Yeah. Free hot dogs in the city of Chicago. We're up. Chicago Bears are up. I don't know what happened with the Bulls season so far. We're looking really good at one point. Not so much anymore. But that's okay, man. We're focused on where we are. Football season. It's all right.
It's funny because you and the homie were talking about football in the group chat last night. And while at the same time, I was watching the Bulls game and I was like, damn, it's not going so great over here for the Bulls, though. Like, at moments they look great. Like, they kept up the whole game. But then, like, some moments it's like, what are y'all doing out there? What's happening, young guys?
Yeah, I didn't care for that. At one point, they were losing, and I saw the baby jump all out of the seat. I was like, turn this off, man.
Not the baby. You got the baby getting this shit off. Things are going bad.
He had the little fucking extra medium white tee on. I was like, get this out of here, man.
Shout out to the baby.
Bro.
Ooh, that is funny.
That NLE Chopper video that has been all over the timeline has been hysterical. People are putting other music over it. And every time I see it now without the music, you could just see him dancing. It is fucking hilarious, bro.
I've seen it at least 100 times at this point, and I can't stop. Like, I'm just like mesmerized by what's going on because my brain is confused. It's like, why is he's in the desert or somewhere, and he got on
He's
like a
got like a
bandito.
cowboy outfit on.
He got on like a bandito entrance outfit, and he comes out and he's doing bandito salute. I'm like, this guy's been watching his banditos tapes, and then he turns it to like Michael Jackson, some of it, and he's like, step in, and he's moving to the side. I'm like, I don't know what this,
Bro. And then when you like actually listen to the music, I'm like, oh no, what is this? What are you doing?
It's gun talk.
Yeah,
It's gun
the
bars.
funniest,
I'm like, this is confusing.
bro, getting gun bars off and like throwing shots at NBA YoungBoy when you're on there like doing like the Bugs Bunny dance. Like, what is going on? Like, I'm so confused as to how that happens, but all right.
I'm like, this is hip hop. I don't want to be an old head, Phil, but I'm like, this is hip hop now. This is where we got. Turn this all off. Turn it all off. Cut it off. Maybe AI rappers are needed here because these real ones are wilding, dog. What's going on here?
Nah, I'm good.
And on top of that, you saw the other one that was going viral before this, where he's like, he knocks the chains off. He's in like a barn or something, and he's like super sweaty, and he like. He's super shouldery in most of it's so off-putting.
Yeah. NLE Chopper for a minute, he was dropping some records I really liked, and I don't know what happened. This wasn't it. Somebody put the Wild Wild West song over it, and I was dying laughing. I've seen other people put like I saw someone put the end of the fucking D12 record, the Eminem singing My Sauce over it.
I haven't heard these, but just picturing it and seeing him doing those stupid dance.
Nah, the Wild Wild West is hilarious, bro.
Oh my God, what is going on? And I mean, I guess it's working because like it's super viral. Like 30 million people have probably seen this, but like you're saying, is it though? Is it worth it?
I don't think it's a good thing because I don't see anybody saying, "Nah, this is fire." This is a lot of people saying like, "Nah, this is trash." So probably not the intended result.
Oh my God!
Yeah, we got the Stove God record as well. Finally, we got new Stove God music. A lot of people were not happy with it. I thought it was fine. I don't know why people were like acting like this was. Oh, we waited 4 years for this. So I was like, yeah, it's fine.
I listened to it before I saw what people were saying, and I was like, okay, he's going in not a different direction, but like he's trying something. Like it's more like upbeat. There's some stuff behind it. Then I got online, and everybody's like, why would he do this to us? He sold out. I hope this is just he's putting out a crappy record so he could get out of his deal and get to the next. I'm like, people are so, I didn't think it was that awful or anything. I thought it was a chill song. I know there's probably going to be, it was fine. There's going to be some more heat on the actual record. Like, why is everybody jumping out the window? But people were upset on like every platform that I went on to see about it. People were like, I can't believe Stove God would do this.
Yeah, they were acting like he just let the entirety of hip hop down by putting out this one song. I was like, I don't think this is. I think it's fine. I think we'll get some more music. It's cool.
I'm a part of that community, and I was not let down. Like I don't know, like hip hop seems fine. I'm like, oh, it's gonna be okay. I don't understand like why people are so. It's over so quickly. Like people can't even let anything rest, or they didn't even fully take the song in. I feel before they were like, "This is trash," and that's kind of where everything lands at this point, I guess.
Yeah, it gets like that. But yeah, we got some wrestling stuff to get into. Week 1 of the Continental Classic Survivor Series tonight. The pretty big title change coming out of this AEW pay-per-view for last weekend. I'm still processing it. Even when I was watching Wednesday, I was like, yeah, the Joe is really champion. Okay.
It's a different company, it feels like. I knew that they were going to change into the they were going to wrap some stories up and move in a different direction, but it feels like some interesting steps were made. It feels like different energy, not different company, different energy with Samoa Joe as champion as compared to having Hangman Adam Page as champion. Because when Hangman Adam Page was champion, he's like starting the shows, ending a lot of the shows. The show was kind of built around that. And now it's like having a heel on top is always just completely different energy. And I like it, but it just feels different. Eddie Kingston on, we're going to get into it fully, but Eddie Kingston on Collision, that's the Eddie Kingston energy that I want. He now has a Samoa Joe match. So, like, that's dope. So it's getting somewhere, but it's just funny how we got here.
Yeah, I'm still not sure that this was the right move. I think you had more you could do with Hangman as champion. And yeah, this Joe run just kind of came out of nowhere. It's not like, we had momentum behind Joe. It's not like there was some big storyline that felt like it would justify this. It just felt like, oh, here's the second match. Oh, he won. Oh, okay.
I guess it's, where's it going to lead? Like, is Swerve going to become AEW champion? I'm cool with it, but like, Hangman, there was some more for Hangman. And like, how long is it going to take for Hangman to get back to world championship status? Because like, there's a long line, a long list of other people that are going to be on their way to becoming champion. So it's going to be interesting in the next coming months, in the next year, what that championship looks like.
Yeah, I don't know. That's kind of the weird part of it to me. I don't know, man. I think the Hangman run was good, but I think people online are not happy about this. The Hangman FC is not happy with Tony Khan.
Absolutely.
But I don't know. I think there's something to say about how much like he's beloved by core AEW fans, and he's beloved by like the internet fans. And I'm not sure if that's fully translated into the business side. And maybe that's why they wanted to try something else.
Yeah, but I think you're right though. I feel like when you got the guy, you should go with the guy. Like, even like, it wasn't long enough to be like that, not a failure, but that didn't work, or we need to try something else. I didn't even feel like we really got into it. Or like I was saying, I feel like as soon as his run started, Darby came back, and a lot of people were like, we need Darby to be champion. And so people were like on to something. They had already moved on before we even got to really enjoy Hangman's run. So I feel like that kind of played a part in it. But every time you get online and like the heart and soul of AEW, people are like, Hangman was robbed. Like, Hangman should have continued to be world champion, and we want him to be world champion again. So it's some kind of, there is a little bit of disconnect with the business side, and I don't know why that happens.
Yeah, and that's why I'm saying I don't know if it's the business side that, sped up this title reign. But, bringing Swerve back and having the title change on the same night you brought Swerve back, that immediately makes me feel like, well, why? You could have done another Hangman Swerve match. Like, I don't know. Like, it seems like this is probably going to lead to like a triple threat match or something. But yeah, I don't know. I don't get it. I don't get the move. And I was trying to be as optimistic as possible coming out of Saturday, because I wasn't in love with the steel cage match either, or the finish of it. But I kept thinking, okay, well, we get so many long title reigns. I don't mind a shock change. This could shake things up, and this could lead to something interesting. When we got to Wednesday and we got the segment, and Joe just came out there and was like, here's Hook. I was like, this is what we're doing?
Here's Hook. Like, this is all a vehicle for Hook. I don't know if that's where I want to go with all of this. Like, I like Samoa Joe. I like Powerhouse Hobbs. I like them being heels, but like, if we're all trying to sell Hook as the next one, I don't know. I don't know if I'm hopping on the train so quickly.
Yeah, I think that Hook kind of works better in the role he's in currently. Excuse me. So maybe this will help with him. I don't know, but yeah, I don't know about this whole ops dojo thing and what we're doing here. It just feels like I don't know, man. I'm trying to give it some time. I don't want to be knee jerk and just say that this was a horrible decision, but I don't know, man. I don't quite get it. I don't get why we moved on from Hangman so soon. And if we're gonna move from Hangman, I don't get why we didn't go with someone that had more momentum right now. Like with you've got guys that are heels right now that are having a much better run this year than Joe. You just turned Joe heel a month ago. Like you've got something with Ricochet that's much more interesting. You've got the Hurt Syndicate. I think the idea of Bobby getting this shock win and Bobby being champion is more interesting than Joe winning the championship right now.
Definitely. Bobby's essentially undefeated. He ain't been pinned in a one-on-one match here. People hit the energy when Bobby Lashley's in a match feels like a world champion is in the match, and like some kind of shock would have added to it. I liked I liked it that there was the shock thing. It doesn't have to be a bunch of long reigns, but I don't like breaking case of emergency shock wins of like they kind of had Samoa Joe in the same position before, and it's like, oh, let's try this thing. If we're gonna go out on a limb and try a shock thing, let's really go out on a limb and try a shock thing. But I don't know if wrestling will ever be like that. Just not.
Yeah, and that's kind of where I fall. That's where I fall. This kind of feels like a shock title change for the sake of doing a shock title change. I hope that I'm wrong about that, but that's kind of how it feels. Yeah, I will see. I'm not. I don't hate it. I just find myself to be rather indifferent to it. And then even getting the stuff this week, and it's like, okay, Joe's champion. I wasn't in love with the segment with Joe, and even with the stuff with Swerve and Hangman together. I was like, okay, that visual was cool, but I wasn't in love with them coming out and doing the greatest hits of their rivalry, but not actually doing their rivalry. That was an interesting choice. And then and then we got, like you said, the Eddie Kingston stuff from Collision. And the Eddie promo was great. This is what we've been waiting for Eddie to do since he's come back. Give this guy a mic, put him out there in front of a crowd. I thought that this was long overdue, but that's your first challenger for Joe is Eddie? It's a choice? I guess.
The only thing that's unfortunate is people are like, Eddie Kingston is super cold. Like, that's all you've been hearing the last couple weeks, last couple months of like, why is he with Hook? Why they have him over here? Like, every time he's kind of in a match, people are like, well, what's going on? Why isn't he the Eddie Kingston that we've been wanting to see? So it's like, it's kind of going from 0 to 100 again. And like, I think it works because if you give Eddie Kingston 3 more weeks of talking shit on the mic, he's going to really sell this match. But sending kind of 2 months ago, these guys weren't the hottest guys on the roster into a thing is an interesting choice.
Right. I don't think Eddie's return has been good. I don't think that they've really done a good job of his return. I don't think that they've really played up to strengths. And to do all of that, and like you said, he's kind of cold right now. Then you just put him in a title match with Joe. It just all feels kind of arbitrary. I don't know the move we're going here. There were a few booking decisions this week that was just like, okay, I'll see where this is going, but why? Because we got the tag team tournament for the women as well. I assumed with the story you're telling with Tony and Mina that Tony and Mina are probably going to the finals. They're going to face the heels. So I was very surprised when Willow and Harley won. I was like, okay. So are we going Willow and Harley in the finals? Are we going Willow, Harley versus Megan and Marina?
confused, super confused. I thought the Sisters of Sin were guaranteed a spot in the finals just because of these scenarios. Like, are they going to go babyface versus babyface in the finals? I could see them doing that just because what both baby faces are on each side, but that's an interesting choice. And then are you going to just have Megan and Marina squash Harley and Willow? That would also not be that great. So I don't know. This is an interesting decision. I'm like, we almost should have maybe went with having Marina and Megan on the other side, and then the finals being Tony and Mina versus Marina and Megan. But I don't. It's been a lot going on in this tournament, Phil. I'll just say that.
Yeah, you added the convoluted stipulation from the pay-per-view that the winner of the Four Corners match, which was Tony and Mina, would be able to set the stipulation for their semifinals match. And look, the Tony promo was great. Tony came out and addressed Mox, which was hilarious. And then, set up the holiday death match for next week. I don't know why you need a big death match stipulation match in the middle of the tournament when you just came out of Blood and Guts, but I guess. And then the way you're setting it up now, you've got them going against Megan and Marina, and then if they advance to the finals, they're going against a babyface team instead of the other team that Tony and Mina were trying to get revenge against. I didn't really understand that. And I mean, look, never going to complain about Willow getting more opportunities, but yeah, I thought that there was a clear story going here. There was a logical conclusion to this tournament, and it's not.
I don't know who's going to win. I guess I don't know anything at this point. I thought like, oh, this will definitely be the winners. Winners are completely different than what I started with. I mean, I guess Tony and Mina still have a pretty high chance of doing this, but then they're going to beat Willow and Harley to do it. That just, I don't know. I guess we're trying some different booking ways and directions here, Phil. Babyface versus babyface can work, and AEW fans will be into that. But I just think something else would have worked better, maybe.
Yes. And then even the stuff on Collision with the women, you did Ty versus Tekla, and then you had more women come out to save them. So you're setting out another multi-women's match after it felt like the Blood and Guts match settled most of this. I don't know.
Yeah, that part of it too, of if they wanted to compare tournaments and how they go down, men's tournaments never have a stipulation match and smack dab in the middle of it. Like the Continental Classic is like, this is all about wrestling. There's no interference. There's all this. And this one has been filled with plunder and kind of wild finishes. And now there's a stipulation match in the middle of it. It feels, I don't.
Convoluted.
Yeah. There's a lot more going on than it just being straight up. These women are competing for this championship like it should have been.
Yeah, very convoluted. I'm just a bit. I'm a bit confused as to where we're going with some of these storylines when it seemed like you had a clear destination at one point, and now I'm not sure. So I don't know. But if you did not catch it, we did review all of AEW Full Gear. You can look at our entire review on our YouTube channel. We're probably going to do more live streams and more reviews closer to the pay-per-views going forward. That way, you guys, like if there's a pay-per-view like tonight, you don't have to wait an entire week for us to review it. I think that works better. If you guys don't think that works better and you want to yell at us and go, no, do the review on the podcast, we're all always up for that suggestion too. But I think it made more sense because we don't have to spend over an hour and some change talking about the pay-per-view here, and then you also get the review faster.
Right, exactly. Like it's already been a full week. It would have been so long. You didn't already heard 20 different reviews. It's good for us to get it out there early for you guys. And then when we get to the show, talk about the next thing that's happening. There's already another pay-per-view going on. So like it's time to move forward.
Yeah, which is another reason why I wanted to start doing reviews that way, because some weeks it will be like 2 pay-per-views coming into Saturday, and I'm like, okay, we gotta get enough time to talk about 2 pay-per-views. It's not always it's fine, but like trying to cram it all into one episode doesn't always work.
I mean, people think it does because they want us to go 500 hours. They're like, yeah, put more in there so you guys could talk for 6 hours. But we don't want to do that, you guys. I love it. It's a good bit and everything, but like, I'm not trying to talk for 6 hours. That's a long time.
Yeah. Despite what I think of the finish of the actual main event, I thought Full Gear was really good. Really enjoyed it. I thought the tag match was excellent. Probably the best match of the show. Stab versus Mercedes was also really good. I mean, I thought the actual ending of the show was good as well with Swerve's return. I actually really like that. Swerve's big return, his new theme song sounds dope. Raekwon is on the theme song. The match itself, like the steel cage match and the finish of it, just I wasn't really blown away by it.
Mm-hmm. I mean, after seeing what we saw on the show, like ending it that way felt a little. The match itself felt a little anticlimactic, but maybe that's what they were going for. It was more about ending the show with the, oh my God, that shit was crazy. I can't believe Samoa Joe just won and Swerve's return. Like those things hit.
Yeah, I thought the ending itself hit. I thought the ending did what it was supposed to do. And that's also why I kind of wasn't thrilled with the match itself, because it felt like the match itself was just to build to the aftermath stuff. The aftermath mattered more than the actual match. And also didn't like the idea of doing a steel cage match and still doing interference, because you're supposed to be doing a steel cage to stop the bad guys from interfering. The cage is supposed to keep everybody else out, and it didn't.
No, the cage is just for show. It's just so I can inflict punishment, and then at some point chop the little lock off and then get in here and help me. We're going to see that tonight too. Same shit.
Yeah. But yeah, like I said, Brodito versus FDR was really, really good. Great match. Mark versus Kyle Fletcher was also really good.
Mm-hmm.
I thought the open was great. Well, the pre-show match that spilled over into the opening match was really good as well. I thought Darby and Pac over-delivered, which I wasn't that surprised with its Pac. And Darby is a much better wrestler than people give him credit for. I think, again, once you put him in there with an actual wrestler and he is just like wrestling, it's a straightforward match, he doesn't get nearly enough credit for how good he is.
Right. Yeah, no, Darby, what he represents, and we saw that this week with his Continental Classic match on Wednesday against Kevin Knight. Like, just his matches are so important just from what they could deliver on that front. Like, the match with Pac was so different than the match with Kevin Knight, and Darby could do that every single night. Something completely off the walls, insane, some kind of crazy bump, or just a straight up wrestling match, and it's going to represent something completely different than all the other matches on the card. Darby Allin's a special talent. Like, to have a TV wrestler like that brings that kind of energy it's you can't teach that. Like, you can't learn this in the wrestling school. Like, that's a trait that's unique to Darby Allin, and I think it showed a lot this week with those two matches.
Yeah, agreed. Send us in your super chats. Let us know what you thought of the pay-per-view this weekend. Let us know, I guess, what you're excited for a pay-per-view tonight. You can also send us humper chats at humperchats.com/Fightful.
You know, we always appreciate your super chats, always appreciate your humper chats, everybody that chimes in and helps us out with this show. Y'all are the best. Let's get into a couple of these and then we'll move forward. The homie Grapple Geekery says, I can't believe Will colluded with Denise to take the belt off Hangman just to force Reg to watch WWE. That's diabolical. Prayers and justice for Reg. Grapple Geekery, if you knew, you knew.
Why would Will want to force you to watch WWE though?
Because that's the point. That's the joke in here. That's the bit. Is he's in on this. They both were colluding behind my back to make me watch John Cena's last match. I can't believe my friends would do this. That's the bit right there, so he can laugh and hardy har with the rest of the people. Unbelievable that they would do this. I would never trick my friend into doing a bet and then behind his back collude. Like I know that they did.
But that doesn't even make sense. Why would Will, who worked for the other company, want to force you to watch the other company? With me,
watch the show, the other guy's show.
Yeah. Well, it looks like you're getting Gunther at this point. Based on,
I hope so,
the semifinals matches that have been set up. Yeah, you've got Jey Uso versus LA Knight after last night's matches, and you've got Gunther versus
Solo.
Yeah, Solo Sikoa. So sounds like Gunther's winning if I had to guess. I'm assuming if the finals of this before the actual match is going to be Gunther and Jey again, which
yikers.
Unless it's Gunther versus LA Knight.
The Knight fans are going to be very upset. Do you think, because there was that weird finish this week with Penta and Solo, was Solo always the planned thing, or do you think the match probably went how it was going to go?
Yeah, the report is that that match was supposed to go that way anyway.
Gotcha.
But yeah. Hopefully, Penta is okay. That did not look good the way he landed on his shoulder. At first, I was confused as to why they were ending the match, but then when I rewatched, I was like, "Oh yeah, he landed pretty badly on his shoulder." So, hopefully, it's not something that's going to keep him out long term.
Yeah, when they broke it down into slow motion, I'm like, "Oh fuck, man!" Like wrestling is so that's a move he's done 1,000 times, and just like one time it could go like that. So yeah. Prayers up for the homie Penta, because that shit sucks. But appreciate you, Grapple Geeker. The homie Van Twinblay said, "What up, Marks? We got 2 inches of snow this morning, and they are calling for sleet later. I'm making cocoa on the stove as we speak. The Bears."
I'm in love with the cocoa.
I hope that's not what Van Twinblade is making. I hope he's making actual hot chocolate and not making cocoa on the stove, because that's insane.
Don't incriminate yourself if that's what you're doing. Don't send us a super chat. Let us know what you're doing.
Baking soda. I'm like, nah, I don't think we should. Maybe not on the show here, Van Twinblade. I'm with you, but let me know the recipe. I appreciate you, Van Twinblade. He's like, what are y'all talking about? The homie Deontay Soignier says, went to the gym at 4 a.m., work at 7, listening to my playlist, and HBK theme comes on. I forgot where I was. I had fun, but the people watching me had more fun. Survivor Series War Games Day. All love, y'all. Be easy. Appreciate you, Deontay. That's amazing. I'm glad you're having a great day. I'm glad you're living it up to the HBK theme. I hope the brunch people weren't too crazy on you today, and I hope you enjoy the show tonight.
Yeah, Deontay was one of the people that messaged me in the middle of this week. I got a lot of messages one day this week because people were upset with me, and I was just like, listen, man, it's all right, man. I know you guys don't see it now, but you will. It's all right.
People were so mad, Phil. Why do they get so upset?
Because I'm right, and they don't want to admit it.
Yes.
And I will not elaborate. I keep saying that I will eventually get into why I feel this way. Today is not that day. I'm in a good mood. I don't want people like yelling at me, but I've felt this way for quite a while about this guy being overrated.
I don't want to feel this.
It's getting worse. It's getting much worse.
It's getting way worse. It's getting egregious. It's getting offensive the way that these people are talking. Like, I hear y'all, I'm with y'all, but like, let's pull it back. Let's reel it in a little bit. And they're not reeling it in a little bit. They're casting it out more, Phil.
Yeah. If you guys did not see it, the context here is that I was responding to Sports Illustrated's, sorry, not Sports Illustrated, ESPN's top 30 wrestlers under 30. Dominic Mysterio was number 1 for the second year in a row. And I was just like, okay, enough. Stop this. Stop. Stop. There are wrestlers under 30 that are better than him. Like I can't keep letting you guys get this lie off.
And they just keep getting that lie off. Like every single time. Like I'm like, Kyle Fletcher exists, like Rhea Ripley's there. Like there's all these people that do the things better than him, but the smoke and mirrors make it look like he's the hottest out here. And I'm with you. That's what WWE does. They want to give up. They want to act like they got the biggest and the bestest, but let's be real.
Hey man. Now listen. Hey, shout out to homie Andreas Hale. I'm sure he helps with that list. I'm sure Brandon from the Two Dope Mark show also helps with it because I believe he's on the wrestling teams as well, the ESPN.
Wow.
There are quite a few people that are collaborators on this thing that I know. And yeah, guys, I just don't agree with this this take that this guy is the best wrestler under 30 right now. And I was given all these reasons as to why he should be, and I was just like, nah. Stop doing this. Stop making me look like I'm crazy because I'm not.
Max is still under 30, right? Max MJF
29. He was on the list.
What world? Name one world where Dominic Mysterio is better than MJF. Just one. I'll give anybody.
There were people in my mentions trying. They were trying to tell me that Dom is better than Max. There were people in my mentions trying.
At what? There's not one thing, not one aspect. In ring, on the mic, nothing. Zero things.
Crowd reaction. That's what I kept being told. Crowd reaction.
It's a scam. It's a fix. It's a setup.
At one point, somebody told me that Dom is better than Max because Dom doesn't have to rely on cheap heat, and I was like, "Oh, we've completely lost the plot," because I was like, "You guys know what cheap heat is? Like calling your legendary dad a deadbeat is not cheap heat." I don't know, evoking the name of a dead wrestler and calling that guy your real dad, that's not cheap heat? Huh? Okay. But that was among the takes that I refused to argue with. I was like, guys, I'm not doing this with y'all. I'm not. Yeah, y'all got it.
Yeah, I saw that one a lot too. The he doesn't rely on cheap heat. I'm like, these people don't know what cheap heat is. They think like, I don't know. Like if you like the person, the cheap heat isn't the same. And it's like, okay, I hear you. I'm with you. But Dominic Mysterio definitely exists. And people call him the number one, whatever, because of cheap heat. That's why he got there. That's why this is happening. Cheap heat. He buries his dad, his legendary luchador dad, all the time. That's what his career is based off. That is cheap heat.
Yeah, I think it's egregious that he's above Rhea Ripley, to be honest, because we wouldn't be talking about Dom in this way if it was not for Rhea Ripley.
Rhea Ripley should just be number one on the list just because of what she represents, but that's a different story for a different day.
Yeah.
I still think they don't understand what they got, and they need to start to fucking understand it.
Yeah, I absolutely agree. Yeah, and I saw people that were like, "Why do you hate Dom? Why are you saying?" Listen, I don't hate Dom. I think he belongs on that list. He's had a great year, but number one, 2 years in a row. I don't know about all that.
They like it. They love it. Good on him. Good on them. Shout out to the ESPN team. They stir up controversy every time with their wrestling takes, and that's the point, right, Phil?
Yeah, I mean, look, that's what these lists are for. You know, people are going to see the list and then debate who's on the list, and yeah, I just there were a lot of people in that top 10 that I was just looking like, I'm just ready for us all to stop doing this. I'm ready.
It'll never happen. Legit will never happen.
The funny thing in this, and this is this Drew Turner comment is prime example of it. You had people like this that were like, "Oh, it's ESPN. Like, what did you expect them to do?" But you guys were just yelling at Andreas. Well, not you guys, but people were yelling at Andreas 3 months ago for giving WrestlePalooza a C-. Which is it? I don't want to get into rant mode because I won't do this Dom rant. But I want people to stop doing this media is biased thing when you don't agree with something that people say. I want you guys to stop it. There is no conspiracy in place to put out takes that you personally disagree with.
No. Why? Why would there be?
Just stop. Just stop. It's okay.
Shout out to the homie Andreas. He's killing it out there.
Oh, look, that's my guy. He wrote a really cool piece on John Cena and the rapper that wrote for that initial album. I thought that was cool. I think we should see more stuff like that in John Cena's retirement year instead of like a lot of these lists and a lot of this other stuff. Like stuff like that, just like, you know, retrospective stuff on his career.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, super sick piece. Definitely check that out if you guys haven't seen it. The homie Cool Fool 1980 says, Reg, are you a Swiftie like Denise Salcedo? Absolutely not. 0%. I don't know one song of hers. I've never seen a video. Only Taylor Swift knowledge I have is from when Denise talks about Taylor Swift. Like, I don't. There's nowhere in my life where I would be listening to a Taylor Swift song, be it anything. None. I mean, shout out to the Swifties though. Like, I no beef. Like, I understand why. Like, when I see that she not donates, but she gives a lot of the money away to her crew on these tours, and she's very giving in that sense. I'm cool with it. I like that, and I understand white women's pain. So I'm with you. Like, shout out to Taylor Swift, but just not for me. What about you, Phil?
Yeah, you definitely know some Taylor Swift songs. I don't believe that. You definitely know Taylor Swift songs.
Yeah, I know.
I'm not a Taylor Swift fan at all, but yeah.
She got a Kendrick feature. I think I know that.
Yeah, that was a part of this beef. That Drake was like, he was over there doing Taylor Swift records, even though he has also done, you know, pop records.
Yeah. He followed up with one, I think, Camila Cabello or whatever. Appreciate that, Kuful. Deontay Swanee also said, I did notice that Eddie challenged Joe for Winter is Coming, and MJF still has his contract. All it took was Eddie cutting one promo. I was locked in. Yeah, MJF is looming. He's always looming in the background over this with the contract. Even without the contract, he's always looming over the heavyweight championship. And I think that he should be back soon, and he should be involved in the things that are with that. I don't know how he's going to execute that contract, but it needs to happen. And we need Max back just from what he brings to this company.
Yeah, it seems like Max is definitely coming back soon. That is one of the things I thought about when Joe won, that, of course, Joe was the guy that beat him at World's End to end his long reign as champion. So I do think there's a possibility that this could be leading to Max cashing in and beating Joe to get his revenge.
World's End. It has that. It has some history. So we'll see what goes on. Appreciate that, Deontay. The homie Van Twin Blade says 1 cup whole milk per cup in a saucepan. Put on the weak burner on low flame. Add 2 tablespoons of cocoa powder per cup. Whisk. Bring to an almost boil. Add whipped cream, marshmallow. Serve to the homies. That's the hot cocoa recipe. It's pretty good.
I don't know why when he put the whisk in capital letters like that, I read it like Jill Scott singing grits. Whisk.
Yeah. Whisk. Thank you, Van Twinblade, and thank you, Phil. That's a really good one. The homie Grapple Geekery says AEW fans and Paige are just collateral in their nefarious scheme. Phil, Denise, and Will are now DWO Black and White. Red startup DWO Wolfpack. It's been started. I've been DWO Wolfpack. They've been colluding against me behind my back, laughing, kikiing as friends, slapping hands and shit. Like, they're going down, Grapple Geekery. I'm taking them to homie court. I don't know who's going to be the judge. Can't be Will Washington because he's in on this.
He been colluding with her. Remember when they did Jeopardy and then he was like trying to help her win? I was like, wait, what is this? Like, are you moderating this or not? Like, what's happening?
Damn, Scam City. Every corner we turn, they are colluding. It's been like this, and it's going to continue to be like this. I don't even know why I signed up for this, and I was just laughing. Thought I was going to have this safe, fair bet, and it was not from the beginning. I'm going to take both of you guys down. You're done. I appreciate it, Gravel Geekery. Deontay also says Dom is millennial Miz 1000%. I'm the number 1 MJF hater for fun. Max is better than Dom at everything, especially pissing me off. I won't let folks lie.
Bro, millennial Miz is hilarious. He does have a lot of similarities to Miz, though, that I think a lot of what people like about him is that he is a WWE product. Like the way that that Dom is used currently, it wouldn't work as well anywhere else.
That's it. And I think that I was thinking about this fact because I saw Timbaland responded to Kaylani. Kaylani was like, we can't let AI. We can't let AI. Kaylani was like, I don't want to be competing with AI on the charts. Like, I don't think that that's fair. And Timbaland came back to be like, you need to embrace innovation, blah, blah, blah. Don't be left behind, like on his bullshit thing. And it just got me to thinking, Timbaland just wants to be first on this. Like, if this AI thing takes off and like AI music is the future of music, Timbaland wants to be able to be like, I was on first. Nobody was talking about AI when I was talking about it. And that's what a lot of this Dom shit feels like to me, Phil. I feel like people want to be like, in 10 years to be like, I was an original Dom fan. I've been telling you guys that he's the future. I've been blah, blah, blah this. And that's what a lot of this talk feels like. Because the work don't back up the talk. I'm not trying to get you in your.
Why are you talking about Kaz like that?
I didn't say nothing about Kaz. I didn't say anything about Kaz.
Why are you talking about Kaz like that? Kaz was saying some pretty egregious stuff. I was like, wait, really? You really think that? Yeah. No, I do think that there's some of that to this, that people want to be like, I was on a Dom bandwagon first. Look what he's doing in AAA. But I think the point to Deontay's point about him being millennial Miz is that if this was just like he went to AEW or some indie promotion and like started and built his way up and then went to AAA and was AAA mega champion currently, and it wasn't attached to what WWE is doing, the reception to it would be totally different. A lot of this is he's Dom, a WWE wrestler showing up in a AAA show.
Yeah, because remember 2 years ago, 3 years ago, who they used to compare an AEW, another little second generation star. They'd be like, hey, Dom and Hook, they're kind of on the same level and like they're on completely different levels. And I feel like if Hook was in WWE, they'd put the fucking they'd put the machine behind him and he would have more just because of that's how this shit works. You know what I mean?
Yeah. See, man, you're not gonna get me to do it. You're not gonna get me to rant. I see people in the comments doing this thing. You're not gonna get me to do it because I saw a lot of this as well. Oh, he doesn't do moves, and so you guys don't like him because he doesn't do all the flippy stuff. He doesn't wrestle like Osprey. Ain't nobody asking this dude to wrestle like Osprey. Like let's stop moving the goalposts around. That's not what anybody is saying. Like,
no.
Come on.
It's about more than that for me. For me, it's like timing, spaces, how you execute the moves that you do, and he's not the best at any of those things.
I'm not doing it because I just see what's happening here. And again, you can't just be honest about things without people going, well, why are you hating on him? Ain't nobody hating on this dude, man. Like, cut it out.
There's no hate behind it. He's Rey Mysterio's kid. I want him to be the greatest of all time. That's dope. But like, let's relax.
I think what Rey has done for Dom is great.
Hell yeah.
I understand like why he's done as much as his son. I get it.
Was that why Hook
and
said that
it's
on
working
the
out.
mic?
What? He's the best second generation wrestler?
Mm-hmm. Who would he be talking about?
I think he was just saying it to get heat.
Okay.
It might have been just a blanket statement to get heat.
I think so, but like, because that got me thinking. I'm like, who is the greatest? This Dom stuff too. I'm like, who is the greatest second generation wrestler ever? That has to be like The Rock, right? Or is he third? I guess they count as third.
Rock's the third generation wrestler.
And kind of in canon, Dom Mysterio's a third generation wrestler too, even though it's his uncle that was the original Rey Mysterio. Or Rey Mysterio's uncle, not Rey Mysterio's dad. So I don't really know how these things are. I guess he is just second generation because it's just his dad. But in wrestling canon, he's third generation. So I don't know.
Yeah. Marcos, stop. Nobody's saying because he doesn't wrestle for AEW, he's terrible. Nobody's saying
0%.
Stop doing that. This is what I don't like, and this is the little I will give you without going into this rant. This is what I don't like. When I'm just like, this guy is not the best wrestler under 30. Well, why are you saying he's bad? Did I say he was bad?
Mm-hmm.
Did I say he was bad? Did I say he was terrible? Did I say I want him to wrestle like Will Ospreay or he's the worst wrestler in the world? No, none of that is said. Like, stop doing that. The fucking worst. It is the worst. Yeah. It is the worst argument against what I'm saying. There are 4 other wrestlers ranked below him that are better than him. That's all I'm saying. Really, there are 10.
And the first wrestler I brought up was Rhea Ripley. So like, I don't know. She works for WWE.
Bro, I think that the Hook thing is just him trying to get heat. It's just a blanket statement. Because I mean, when you say second generation wrestler, that's it's like Roman, Cody. Like, yeah, that's a crazy statement when Roman is like one of the most over guys in the world. I'm the best second generation wrestler. Hold on, reel it in.
It's so funny because Cody never not talked about Destin, but like, of course, or Dusty, like, of course, I forget that. How do I forget that Cody's a second generation wrestler? That's all he ever says. And you're not a better wrestler than Cody Rhodes. All right, let's relax. But yeah, it's not because we think AEW is better. I hate that fucking argument. It's the worst argument in the world.
It has nothing to do with where he wrestles. Nothing to do with that.
No.
Since when have I been a guy like, oh, this guy wrestles over there, so I don't like him?
No.
Me?
Ridiculous. Redonkulous. The homie Ben Sifner says, Dustin Diamond greater than Dustin Hoffman. Saved by the Bell's better than The Wire. Dom greater than everyone. Those are some wild takes in there, Ben.
Close it all down. Shut it down.
Oh, egregious. Very egregious. Dustin Diamond wilding too, Ben. I don't know if you know research on Dustin Diamond, but and some of them later years.
Isn't he dead?
Yeah, he died. Rest in peace.
Yeah, that's what I thought about. He's still wilding. I was like, wait a minute, I don't think he's here anymore.
I was talking about some of them later years. He was on some stuff. That's it.
Yeah.
I appreciate that, Ben.
Yeah. Rest in peace to Dustin Diamond.
Then the homie Coolful also says, one thing I miss about Vince McMahon is he was quick to make new champions like he did with Orton and Brock Lesnar. Obafemi and Braun Breaker would probably be champions by now if he was running things.
Maybe. He would still be bringing Brock back and doing the nostalgia pop.
I was going to say Brock Lesnar would probably be champion right now if Vince was still here.
Yeah. That was another thing that people got upset with me about as well, because I was like, oh, the Dom segment with the little person, I was like, oh, this is right out of Vince's playbook. This is his style of humor. And people were like, why is this a bad thing? Why can't you just enjoy wrestling? I'm like, I just think that this is something that Vince would do because he's done it many times.
Enjoy wrestling.
I don't know, man. This looks like something Vince would do. And it was even funnier because then Meltzer said the exact same thing I said. And I was like, okay, so it wasn't just me. All right.
I mean, we've seen Vince do this bit before with Shawn Michaels and then Bret Hart.
Multiple times. I didn't think that was a crazy observation. But, apparently when you make observations, it has to be something behind it, and you're trying to secretly say, "Oh, well, Triple H is now Vince, and this show is terrible." I didn't say that. I just said that this is something Vince would do.
No, there's a hidden meaning under those words, Phil. Better watch it,
bro. People have to stop doing that. People have to stop putting words in your mouth and arguing something you didn't say. They have to stop doing that. It is the worst. Yep. It's okay to disagree with what I'm saying, but don't just tell me I said this. No, I didn't. Stop doing that.
Well, you guys usually don't say what. Don't try to talk about.
You guys hate fun.
Yeah, what happened in the future? Leave me out of this.
You guys hate fun. You hate comedy. Do I?
We hate comedy.
You sure? You sure? Okay.
Appreciate that, cool fool. And then Devil Kazuya says Slater and Oba should have been higher. Amazing talent. In the ESPN list. Yeah, both those guys are incredible.
Yeah, that was one of the responses. Someone was like, well, if Dom shouldn't be number one, name someone under 30 that had a better year than him. And I was like, Oba didn't have a better year than him? I'm confused. The main champion on his brand. He was champion for most of this year. He didn't have a better year than him? You're sure? Okay. Hey, man. Y'all sure Blake Monroe didn't have a better year than him? Y'all sure, counting the stuff as Mariah May and the stuff as Blake Monroe, she didn't have a better year? You sure? I don't know. Yeah. I digress.
Appreciate that, Devil Kazuya. That's all of our super chats for now.
I think we've got like a few Humper chats here. We've got two from Tony P. He says, still low on funds, so we're going to keep it brief again. Petty of Week is host choice this week. Also, how do you two feel about Jimmy's recent comments about Dubs? I am mixed because he was right, but also part of me feels like it is kind of he's kind of regretting that trade now. I don't think he's wrong. I think that because he's a player that is very much like hustle, defense, going after loose balls, I think he sees that that's what the team is missing. And he's always been critical of teams he's been on in this way. So not surprised.
Yeah, this is pretty normal Jimmy kind of talk when he's like, I want a team full of dogs. I want everybody to be on every play like it's the last play you're ever going to play. And the Warriors aren't like, Draymond's always brought that energy, but that's not like the vibes. The vibes are about get it to Steph and he hits a three, we score a bunch of points and we get it that way. But like, they're not the dog fighting team, because they've always been kind of small too. Like I continuously come on here and be like, well, they're not big enough to Biggs so I can throw them around, and Jimmy could see what's going on here. So yeah, Phil saying, he's said this about almost every team that he's been on at this point.
Petty of the week, I think it has to be 50 after we saw the graphic for this Diddy documentary, and right up at the top it says produced by 50 Cent.
Number one, this guy has been petty of the year, petty of the millennium, like all the things. Yeah, you can't get more petty than that. And he's been waiting, Phil. If nobody's been waiting for a downfall more than 50 has been waiting for Diddy's downfall.
Nobody. Nobody anywhere. Yeah. Oh man, no. Money Market saying petty of the week is Kenyon Martin. That Kenyon Martin stuff this week has been pretty hilarious too. I need him and Swaggy to just go ahead and go outside and settle this and come back in at this point. Because it just feels like it just keeps escalating and escalating until it's just like, I don't know, man. Settle this outside or wherever you're gonna settle it, because it's getting kind of crazy.
I'm just like, does Nick, does he think he's gonna win? Like, I feel like old man strength Kenyon Martin's gonna destroy this guy. But I mean, I could be thinking different, because the way that Swaggy be talking to him sometimes, like, I wouldn't, but maybe he knows something I don't know.
Based on their careers, I'm not picking Swaggy in that.
Right?
Kenyon Martin is nuts, man. I'm not picking.
I'm like, does he know who he's talking to? Like, he's being chill because they're on a podcast and they're in a big platform, but this could be over with pretty quickly.
With that said, I do respect where Swaggy's coming from. Like, you're not going to talk to me crazy. I don't care who you are. I don't care what you think this is. You're not about to get on in front of these cameras, in front of these microphones and talk to me crazy. So I get it. I totally get the way he's responding.
Mm-hmm. I wouldn't, but I respect it. Like, I do be like, you're not gonna, because they do be trying to little bro him pretty often, and he's like, no, I've been in the game. I play with Kobe. Like, I'm with you. I understand, but
I get it. And a lot of times he is the person that I agree with the most when I see the clips, because I think a lot of times Gil and Kenyon Martin be saying crazy stuff. He like, well, wait a minute, like that doesn't make sense, and then they'll like try to immediately dismiss his take like he's wrong, and I'm like, but he's not wrong. So I can tell why he keeps raising up like that.
Kenyon is funny though, when he was beefing with Draymond, and he named 200. He did a live and named 200 power forwards better than Draymond. I'm like, he was petty of the week whenever he did that, because that was ridiculous.
That was this week, wasn't it?
That was this week.
Yeah. We got one more from Tony P. Says the good still heat culture, Dynamite and the C2, Lacey getting signed, Bear getting a shot in TNA, the bad WWE until tonight. I think it'll be an okay PLE. Final battle randomness, the still TNA, Andrade interview, the C2 prize issue. We're gonna get into C2 in a minute, and the way I was very confused at the beginning of Dynamite, I was just like, wait a minute, what? I don't know. The Andrade stuff is still.
I went online and I felt like I was dumb, because there were some AEW fans that were like, how could you guys not know what unifications and all that? I'm like, maybe I'm dumb. But then every time I'm like, I don't think I'm dumb. I think this is super convoluted.
We'll talk about it in a few. I did see some of that as well, where people were trying to give these like logical explanations for something that doesn't make sense. And it's okay to say that it doesn't make sense. I agree though. That's a great look for Lacey. I think that Lacey had done well in the matches she had with AEW. She had the Mercedes match. I thought she looked good. So I think that's a good signing for them. I think they're going to need more women like her, especially in the tag division where you could use some extra wrestlers here and there to fill out the division. So I think that's a good spot for Lacey. I agree on this final battle card so far. I think that the card itself looks kind of all over the place, but the show is probably going to deliver because it's Ring of Honor, and the Ring of Honor pay-per-views are usually good. But yeah, getting us there is it's quite a journey every time. It just feels like, how did we get to this place where we're doing yet another rematch? How are we getting this very random Lee Moriarty match on here, which I'm not mad at because I think the match is going to be great, but there has been no build to this match at all. If you guys have not seen, Lee Moriarty is facing Nigel McGuinness in an Iron Man match, and look, like I said, the match is probably going to be great, but how did we get from point A to B?
Yeah, I don't know if we're going to have to just accept as Ring of Honor fans that the stories coming in aren't going to be the strongest, but they'll put together a strong ass card, and the card's probably going to deliver when it comes down to it. I mean, this is the first Ring of Honor show with Mercedes on it. Mercedes is in a rematch against Red Velvet on this show, and like, that's crazy. Persephone's on this show against Athena for Athena's championship, and yeah, and then like they start throwing random things, like Phil's saying, like Nigel challenged Lee a few nights ago on the Ring of Honor show, and now they're doing a 30-minute Iron Man match, and like, that's heat. But like, how did we get there so fast? It's like, maybe it doesn't matter in some cases, but like, if you want to retain fans and get fans to continue to watch your show on a weekly basis, stories are going to have to be fleshed out a little bit better, I think. But the card is looking pretty insane so far. Like, they announced the survival of the fittest main event because Rush is out with the knee injury, and it's going to be 5 guys against Bandito. So that's going to be fire. Like, they're going to be produced on all fronts, but just getting there always feels like a little bit of long journey in Ring of Honor.
Yeah. Other Mikey V, I believe Nick Wayne is still out injured. I think that's why he's been off TV. I believe that's also why we haven't seen the title that he's holding. But this is also the issue with doing an interim title sometimes and not doing it other times, because if that was the case, why haven't you addressed Nick Wayne's championship? Why hasn't he vacated it, or why hasn't there been an interim championship?
Yeah, that's one belt that they should have had something immediately happen. I don't know if they felt the timetable wasn't going to be as long as needed or what happened there, but they should have had something in place for that championship, because it's just something that could be defended every single week on Ring of Honor and needs prestige added on to it. Like, you didn't have to beat Nick Wayne or anything, and he could have came back immediately into the thing, but that's an interesting direction that they've taken with that.
Yeah, Tony, I did not watch most of WWE this week. I watched Raw. I did not watch SmackDown. Yeah, after that Bears game, drinks was flowing. I was celebrating. I did not watch SmackDown.
Drinks was flowing fucks me up.
Yeah, I was outside, buddy. I did not watch SmackDown. Sorry. But yeah, I think Final Battle will be cool. It's just the build for these Ring of Honor pay-per-views is all over the place or non-existent.
What's a build?
Yeah, the Andrade stuff continues to be a real head scratcher. He seems to confirm that his legal team is working on the situation with his non-compete. It seems like he basically confirmed that they're trying to hold him to a year-long non-compete, which is absolutely crazy. There's a Meltzer report this week that also once again affirms that they're trying to hold him to a year-long non-compete, and because they fired him, they don't have to pay him the severance that they usually would have to pay people that are on a 90-day non-compete. But that's what makes the year-long non-compete so crazy, because you're already not paying him for the 90 days. So you're just trying to say that you can keep this guy from working a year and he's not getting compensated at all. I just don't see how that's legal. I don't see that's possible, and I don't see how that will hold up in court. There's no way I can see that holding up.
Yeah, if this holds up in court, what's court doing at this point? He told the story of the transition from AEW back to WWE, and he had some stuff with Charlotte and lawyers, and stuff was weird. And essentially, it's like they didn't know this clause was in there, or like things were moving so fast that it wasn't something that was high on the radar. They were probably just like, I'm going to go over here and it's not going to matter, essentially, maybe. And yeah, he's like, they're trying to hold me for a year, essentially. And there's these clauses. I'm trying to get out of them. Currently, they're fighting out of them because they don't make sense at all. Like, how are you going to hold a dude for a year and not pay that? Like, what? Like, what good does that do for anybody? Andrade is funny, being like, I left on good terms. And it's like, Andrade, I don't think you understand what good terms are, because these are definitely
got fired, bro. Yeah, I don't think you can get fired on good terms, bro.
I don't think that's how good terms work, my homie. Like, hey, you're out of here, and you can't work for a year. We're not going to pay you. I don't think that's how good terms work. That's the opposite of good terms, I think.
Yeah, based on the stuff that was leaked about why he was fired, those do not sound like good terms.
No. Good terms.
Yeah. Hey man, maybe he figured like this, out. Yeah, maybe he figured like this is what I wanted to do. I was ready to move on. They cut their losses, so maybe he was looking at it like, nah, good terms. How we ended that? Well, it was mutual. I was ready to leave.
I hear you.
I don't think that's how that works, but I
was saying a different definition of good terms, Phil. Like, I guess I hear him. He's like, no, I wanted to get out of there, so those are good terms. I'm with you. Thank you. I'll leave.
Yeah. I hope he's able to work soon, because I think that this whole situation is ridiculous.
I do like his energy and how he feels about it. He's kind of laughing through a lot of it. It feels like pretty positive moving forward, so that's good at least.
Yeah, I don't know. That is all of our Humper chats. Appreciate you, Tony.
Thanks, Tom.
Yeah, I mean, got week 1 of the Continental Classic. Starting earlier this week, they announced all 12 names for the Continental Classic, like they usually do, with one of those videos with Tony Schiavone in front of a green screen. And so far the field, like when he announced it, I was like, oh, this is gonna be fire. For the Blue League, it's Claudio Castagnoli, Jon Moxley, Konosuke Takeshita, Orange Cassidy, Mascard Dorada, and Roderick Strong. I mean, straight away, following the last pay-per-view, Claudio and Jon Moxley in the same division is a pretty big deal. I do think that there's a very good chance that could end up being the Blue League finals. We've already got set up that their match is going to be the upcoming match for this upcoming episode of Dynamite. Yeah, there's a lot there to take away from that, based on some of the segments after Full Gear, some of the interactions after Full Gear, the looks on a lot of these guys' faces. Yeah, it's gonna get spooky very soon for Death Rider guys.
And we got some brand spanking new developments last night. Claudio is now the new CMLL World Heavyweight Champion out of nowhere. And that changes everything in this Blue League. I don't know if that means Claudio's about to go on a run now that he's the world champion. Him immediately having a match with Jon Moxley this week, I think, is going to tell a huge story with what they've been doing with the Death Riders and how Jon Moxley has been moving. Because Jon Moxley's kind of been moving like, what's wrong? Like, let's continue the journey. Let's continue what we were doing. Like, I don't know. We don't need to be worried about wins and losses. He keeps bringing that up. He was on commentary for Collision. He's like, everybody's all hung up on wins and losses and all this. Y'all need to calm down. And like his energy is completely different than I think the other Death Riders' energy are.
Yeah. Yeah. That segment that they aired after Full Gear, where he's like pacing back and forth. He's like, yeah, all you guys talking about winning, it's regular season. Wait till we get to the playoffs. And they're all looking at him like, what? And he's just like, all these guys, they're not real wrestlers. Look, they're getting hurt. They're going to the hospital. Like they're fragile. And they're still all like, but you lost. And not just you lost, you tapped out.
In the middle to an ankle lock to Kyle. What is this? What are you leading on? And everybody keeps getting wins around Moxley, and the way that they're moving is different, and it's about to come to a head.
Absolutely. I thought that Mox versus Kyle was also very good from the pay-per-view. I thought that the finish was perfect. I think the storytelling that they're doing with Mox and the Death Riders is excellent.
Yeah.
In the Gold League, we've got Kevin Knight, Kyle Fletcher, Pac, Darby Allin, Speedball Mike Bailey, and Kazuchika Okada. Kicked off on Wednesday night, Thanksgiving Eve. First match of the night was Kyle O'Reilly. Sorry, not Kyle O'Reilly. What am I doing? Too many Kyles. Kyle O'Reilly, unfortunately, could not compete in the Continental Classic because he got injured in the match. I'm not sure if that is a worked injury or if it's a real injury, but he will not compete in the Continental Classic, which I think is a bit of a shame because I think he's benefited so much from the Mox feud, and I wanted to see him in the Continental Classic.
Yeah, I think hopefully it's not a real, I don't know what the injury is, kayfabe or not, but he just would have been done so well in the Continental Classic. Like, I like Roddy being in there. I think Roddy's going to fill a space that Kyle would have filled. But Kyle, with this momentum and the stuff that he's been doing, the couple of victories over Mox, I think this would have been a lot of momentum helping him move forward. So hopefully he's all good.
Yes. The elephant in the room for the opening match, Kazuchika Okada came down to the ring with the international belt around his waist. The Continental Championship was on the commentary table. And as soon as this was on my TV, I was like, but wait, those belts are unified. So
what is
why? The name of this belt that they told us when they established it is the Unified Championship. And the whole point of this belt, they told us, was this is not a mid-card belt. This is not a secondary belt. This is to be treated like a top belt in this company. And I mean, there's only one way to describe unified, right? There's one definition for unified. Once they're unified, they're unified. And so I was confused as to why these belts are no longer unified. And the explanation they gave on commentary of, well, the Continental Classic belt is on the line now because Okada relinquished it for the tournament, and the winner of the tournament will win it. And so that means if Okada doesn't win this tournament, he'll also lose the Unified Championship. But that's not how a unified championship works.
No. I'm super confused. I was so confused from the beginning. And like I said, I think I was being gaslighted online by these people being like, no, because like there's got to a point where people are like, no, he's been defending the international and continental belts separately. I'm like, when? When did I miss this?
No, he hasn't.
Not one time. So I'm like, exactly what you're saying. When they unified a belt, that means those other belts are gone. They're now into this one championship, and Okada has been moving along with this one championship and defending it as the unified championship. But now it's like, oh no, some of those defenses were this, some of those defenses were this. Now he relinquished it for the tournament, and somebody could win the Continental. So if somebody wins the Continental Championship, then like Phil's saying, he's not the unified championship anymore because that belt's not unified. So can somebody challenge Okada for the international championship? But don't they now have the national championship with Ricochet? Huh?
Yeah, this doesn't make sense. And I know from the beginning, Tony said that the lineage for both the international and the continental championship still exists. Okay, but Okada's been walking around with the unified belt. He hasn't been walking around with 3 belts. And I know he also said at one point that the owner of the unified belt has the choice. They could, if they wanted to, carry around all 3 belts. But why would you do that if the belt is unified?
What is the point of the unified championship then, Phil? That's the what's the point?
Why do we do a unification match? Why are we calling this belt a unified belt if there are 3 separate belts? And essentially, the unified belt doesn't exist if he does. So if Okada doesn't hold both belts, the unified belt doesn't exist.
Right. It's nothing.
So it's almost like the unified belt only existed for the Kenny Omega match, and it was like a prize coming out of that. But
it's a prop.
I'm so confused by why would you even go about doing that? And even if that was the case, why would you call it the unified belt? Why not call it something else?
That's my thing. Like I'm with you guys. If like, okay, the lineage just continued for all the belts. All these belts were up for grabs essentially when Okada was doing it. But explain that when it was happening and like make it very clear as to what's going on. I'm not on there's too many belts bandwagon for AEW thing, Phil. Most of the time, this is the first time where I was like, so they just created a belt for Okada to look cool with. Cause like I don't know. I'm like, well, what was the point of this if I could have on some random Wednesday challenged Okada for the international championship and then he's not unified championship all in one fell swoop? Now this is what's happening. So are they also at the same time telegraphing that he's going to win this whole thing, Phil? Is that also the thing?
I don't know. I'm very confused about the rules for the unified belt. I've always felt like the Continental Classic should just have a trophy and not a belt.
Yeah.
And now it's like, I don't know. I don't know what's happening with the international belt. I don't like because the belts are unified. If you remember, after he won the match at All In, the rules for the Continental belt still applied to unified belt. Mm-hmm. Okay, so could you still technically adhere to like what the international belt is supposed to be for the unified belt as well and defend that in other countries? There's so much here that's just not clear. And I don't think that AEW has done a great job of explaining it. When commentary gave their explanation while Okada was coming down to the ring, I was more confused. I read a tweet that Sean wrote about it, and I was just like, but that doesn't make sense. I don't understand. So it's a unified belt, but it's not a unified belt, and it's the international belt is still a belt, but it's kind of not still a belt. I don't know why we did this. I don't know why. What was the point of all of this? And
then the Continental Championship only exists for 3 weeks at the end of the year till the world's end. That's the only time it exists. You can't challenge for it any other time in the year. I'm like, what?
Well, if you remember, Okada was defending the Continental Championship. That was the belt that he held coming out of Continental Classic last year.
That's who he beat was Eddie defending Kingston it for that. Okay,
yeah. He was defending it. He was adhering to the rules for that belt. But then, Kenny won the international belt, and when he beat Kenny, then he unified the belts. So, yeah, I just think that this is needlessly complicated.
Too much.
I just don't get the point of it. I think once you unified the belts, you should have either established a trophy for the Continental Classic, or you should have given it another stipulation, like the winner gets a world title match or something, because this whole idea that the holder of the unified belt is now splitting these belts that was unified to put this belt back on the line for this tournament is very confusing.
I'm confused, and I'm an AEW diehard, you guys. I watch all the shows, I know all the things, and even I was like, I don't know what's going on. There's too much going on with this championship.
Yeah, and I did see AEW fans saying this is easy to understand, and they were trying to do like Twitter explanations for it, and the problem with that is regular fans that just watch this TV show, if they don't understand it, they're not going to try to go through like all these rabbit holes to try to find out what is the rules for this belt. They're just going to sit and look at their TV and say, this is confusing. I don't understand. And of course, I know some AEW fans are going to go, well, why do you have to be spoon-fed everything? Like, this isn't that hard to understand. And sometimes I'm on that bandwagon too of this isn't that hard to understand. No, this is needlessly convoluted.
I watch all the shows and I was confused. I had to look at somebody break. They're like, in boxing, I'm like, why do I have to know about boxing unification rules when I'm watching a fucking pro wrestling show? Like, I hate being treated like I'm dumb when I watch every single show and I'm confused as hell what's going on. So it's not just casual fans, it's people that fucking watch the show. So I don't understand being shamed for it because it wasn't broken down like it should have been. Like the commentators threw a little thing in, but like over the year, it hasn't felt like we know this distinguished different divisions of this championship. This is a thing that's been brought up for this damn tournament. It's frustrating.
Yeah, I think that's also part of why it's a bit confusing because after the belt was unified, none of these things were really explained clearly until we got to the Continental Classic. So once we get to the Continental Classic, it's pretty jarring to turn your TV on and the Continental Championship is sitting on the commentary desk. It's like, wait a minute. I thought that wasn't a belt anymore. I thought that belt was merged with the other belt.
Mm-hmm. That's it. It's just like, what's that belt doing here? That's it.
Yeah. And like I said, Okada is coming to the ring with the international belt. Like,
right.
Wait.
Just a bit confusing. That's it. That's all. And like, I think it muddied up the winner in the finals and what this tournament really represents,
Yeah, and then initially, like I said, you're treating this belt like it's a world championship. You're treating it like it's a second world championship, but it's not. If it's a unified belt that can be split at any time to suit the need of a storyline or this tournament, then it's not a second world title.
I just have never seen in wrestling, at least,
that doesn't really.
I've never seen in wrestling, at least, them unifying a belt, and then I've seen them unmerge them, but that was like for good. I've never seen them just unmerge them at willy-nilly or whenever they wanted to. This is just a new concept to me.
Yeah, I didn't get it. But the opening match of the Continental Classic was very good. Kyle Fletcher took on Kazuchika Okada. Kyle Fletcher picked up a win over Okada for his second year in a row. I thought that was a good look for Fletcher, especially because he lost the TNT title at the pay-per-view.
Yep.
And I felt like I don't want to say he needed a win. I just think if anybody was concerned with like where Kyle is and whether this company still sees this guy as the future, I think giving him yet another win over Okada really alleviates that. Yeah,
because you can count on one hand the amount of people that have like straight up wins over Okada. Like he don't give those out like nothing. This set good pace for the tournament, like beyond all the belt talk and things that we talked about. Watching the tournament this week, and it's just one-on-one matches. Nobody could be at ringside. It's just these guys trying to essentially beat this 20-minute time limit while beating their opponent. That felt great. Like that Kyle and Okada were fucking cooking. Kyle had this different kind of motivation going into it after losing his championship. He has that win from last year looming over Okada's head, and I think that played a part into why he beat Okada this time. You've learned that Okada, it's hard to hit your finisher or get the momentum, get your moves in, and then hit your finisher on Okada and just beat him. That's rare. And anytime Okada's been beaten, it's some kind of roll up, it's some kind of different kind of counter to get him off of his game. And that's what Kyle Fletcher used in this match to beat Okada. Super fun way to start the tournament.
Yeah, agreed. I thought that this was a great opening match. Big win for Kyle again. Kazuchika Okada is still Kazuchika Okada. His face afterwards, his stunned look of, what do you mean? I thought that was great. Don on commentary. There was a lot of Don on commentary. Again, there was a lot of Don on commentary during Full Gear as well. It hasn't worn thin on me yet, but there's a lot of it. And usually when there's a lot of something, it's hard not for it to wear thin. And I think at best, Don is still very, very entertaining. It's still funny every time he calls Mark Briscoe a crayon eater and some of these other things. But there's a lot of Don Callis on Dynamite. And there was a lot of Don Callis on that pay-per-view.
It's I'm on the same boat as you. I don't think it's worth thin yet, but it's getting close. Like, it's a lot. It's becoming overload. I noticed last week watching Dynamite, I was like, damn, I like the Don Callis family, and this is a lot of Don, you guys. He's in, like, if they have 10 segments on Dynamite, he's in like 6 of the 10 segments. Like, you guys, this is, if it's not a segment specifically showing him and the family, he's on commentary. Like, he has to be a part of every single situation, and it just might be coming a little too much.
Yeah, I think it's glaring too, because he'll be on commentary and then you'll get like a segment backstage with Don, or you'll have a wrestler coming out and Don's with them. It's like, okay, it's a lot. But yeah, like I said, no harm, no foul so far. I think all the first 4 matches of the tournament were great. Kevin Knight versus Darby Allin was a great clash of styles. I love, like, a guy like Kevin Knight that is very athletic and a high flyer going up against somebody that can do high flying moves, but his style of high flying moves is completely different.
Absolutely.
Like, there's like Kevin Knight, who is kind of flashy and like does this like uber athletic stuff, and then there's Darby, who's kind of chaotic and reckless. And putting both of these guys in the ring together was something that I didn't think I would enjoy as much as I did, but this was a really fun match.
Yeah, it's funny because what you describe, it's like they're almost a clash of styles just because they are so different when it comes to personalities. But then they also kind of have the same style because it's both balls to the wall, high flying, crazy shit, using your body as a weapon. It's just a different way. Like, Jet is like swag about it. He's a baller. He's on some player shit when he does his thing. He wants it to look fancy. He wants to fly. He wants to look good while doing it. Darby's like, my body's a weapon. I'm going to fly all over this ring, but it's in order to hurt you and destroy you and try to get the win in this. I thought that this was another kind of shocking win because Darby Allin still represents what Darby Allin represents, and he could come in this tournament and win every match, and it would make a lot of sense. But having Kevin Knight get kind of a surprise win after hitting an incredible Van Terminator and that UFO was a great way also to continue the start at this tournament. Like, coming from Kyle beating Okada and then having Jet beat Darby, I think was a great way to start this.
Yeah, I think it was a great way to show that the 2 young guys in this tournament are 2 guys that you should watch moving forward, giving them 2 big shock wins over an AEW original and a guy like Okada, who's only been pinned, I believe, 3 times. So, yeah, I agree with you. Kevin Knight, man, he's just incredible, man. The barricade, springboard, moonsault he did was crazy. The dive he did coming out of the ring. He did the same dive in the gauntlet match as well, and it looked crazy. I will never get tired of watching him do the UFO splash. I mean, being able to get in midair and get that kind of air and adjust in air and turn is just ridiculous. He just makes a lot of this stuff look effortlessly cool too. Yeah, huge win for him. Darby getting 2 losses in a row doesn't hurt Darby, especially given the 2 guys that beat him. Like, Pac is a guy, I think, coming back. We all know how good Pac is, but Pac needed some wins. He needed some momentum.
Yep.
So I don't think that hurts Darby at all. And then also in the midst of this tournament, Kevin Knight's an upcomer. I don't think anybody expects Kevin Knight to win this tournament, but I want to see him get these kind of matches and these kind of showcases so people can see more of what this guy can do.
Yeah, this has been great for Kevin Knight. I mean, this whole AEW run, I think, has been phenomenal. Like, things have been moving a little bit faster than I expected them to, because I knew everybody was going to get on the Kevin Knight train just because of his charisma, how he moves, his wrestling style. But even faster, like, I've seen a lot of people being like, Kevin Knight's the future. We could execute right now. Like, let's go. Like, they're putting him on the same level as like Kyle Fletcher. And I think that's super amazing for him, because he does represent that. He does move with that energy. He is new, young, and the future of the company.
Yeah. I need the crowd to start chanting his theme with the song, by the way. When it comes out and it has like the it almost sounds like Braveheart, start chanting "To Fly" with the song, guys.
They'll catch up.
But yeah, that was our hopefully that was our 2 Gold League matches from Dynamite. Kyle Fletcher and Kevin Knight both put up three points on the board. We got Jon Moxley versus Mascara Dorada. Moxley is he's got a lot of eyes looking on him, and I think it's kind of brilliant to take him out of the match at the pay-per-view where he lost without the help of the rest of the Death Riders, and put him in a tournament where he has to win on his own because of the rules of the tournament. He cannot rely on the Death Riders. So I think that's very smart, and I think that's going to play into a lot of his outings in this tournament. I mean, especially considering the match he's looking at next week. But yeah, the Dorada match straight out the gate was also an interesting choice for him, because Dorada wrestles such a different style than Moxley does. Moxley spends a lot of this match trying to ground him and stop him from doing all this flashy luchador stuff. And Dorada, at sometimes, he was keeping up with him on the mat. He was going hold for hold with him. But Mox is just so much better at that style of wrestling that's how he ended up picking up the win.
Yeah, I like Mox in these different kind of clash of style matches, especially with luchadors, because when he implements that kind of blanket style where he's just like, you can't do nothing that got you here, none of the high flying shit that got you to where you are you going to be able to do against me. I'm going to ground him. He's going to grind him out a lot of the time, have him on the mat down. He tried to do that spot where he did the tope and then he got all the way to the guardrail. It's like, no, Mox could mix it up when he needs to, but just like implementing his match, I think, is really fun in this. That thing that you talked about not having anybody at ringside, there's no Death Riders. I think that's cool too. Mox has to implement a different strategy. Some things he maybe would have had Marina for, or some distraction. He can't use that. I think it's really going to come into play, like you're saying, next week against Claudio. It's Death Rider versus Death Rider, and no Death Riders outside to help interfere. It's going to be just 2 guys going blow for blow, bar for bar. Claudio's been fighting with the no nonsense. I mean, that's his thing, of no nonsense type of just go out here, earn these wins, not deal with any of that bullshit. So that's going to represent something dope. But I do like Dorada being in here, kind of being some variety in the tournament, because there's all hoopers, there's all heavy hitters. But he represents kind of a wild card kind of aspect. I do hope that they give him some wins on the way up in this tournament. I don't want him just being there, just being the luchador to take do all the cool stuff but never get a win. I think he needs to get something on the way up.
Yeah. That's kind of my worry too. It feels like he's in the Commander spot from last year. And Commander was in there to have cool matches with a bunch of people, but not necessarily win a lot of his matches.
Exactly. That's exactly what it feels like. And I'm like, I hope it's not that, because this guy's incredible.
Yeah, he's amazing. 23 years old, I believe. Like, just incredible.
Under 30, you guys, come on.
No comment. Claudio Castagnoli took on Orange Cassidy in the main event. Claudio is just such a great wrestler, man. I mean, he's not where he was a few years ago, where he was the Swiss Army knife that could do all this crazy athletic stuff, but also the feats of strength and also submissions and strikes. He doesn't move the same way that he did then. He's a bit bigger than he was, but I think he's adjusted his style really well. Throughout this match where Orange Cassidy kept trying to get in like his offense, and Claudio would just brush him off and just like hit him with a lariat. Like when Orange Cassidy tries to hit him with the dive and he goes all the way to the barricade and then just pushes him back off the barricade and then just like clocks him on the way in. Like when he gets into that like android mode where he's just like shrugging off all your offense and just like beating you down, he looks really, really scary. And
totally.
Like I just think about that going into this Mox match. Like I wonder how that's going to play out there. But yeah, I really like this. Orange Cassidy is tremendous. Orange Cassidy is a guy that I feel like you could heat up at any point and make world champion. And he's also a guy I feel like you can put in there with multiple kinds of opponents and have good matches.
Yeah, T1000 Claudio is something to watch, something to behold. I think him adjusting his style, like you were saying, it works because of what he's changed into. He still was one of the best counter wrestlers in the world, and a lot of that was on display here at Orange Cassidy. They got into their Chikara bag, and there's some flips and there's some different kind of counters and roll-ups in this. But yeah, when Claudio gets into that, I'm locked in, I need to European uppercut your head off, and I'm going to try every different angle to do it. Incredible when he gets him in the corner and he just starts firing up. It's like, oh, Claudio's fighting with the purpose. Claudio's doing this. On the other end, Orange Cassidy is exactly like you described. I think he could be world champion. If they heated him up in 3 months, he was world champion, like everybody would be in. It would work. It would be great. Like he just represents something different than there's only a few guys in the company that represents that, like Darby, Hangman. Like the crowd knows that this is their guy, and them rallying that person in the match is going to help them get the victory. And that's kind of what he represents. Really fun main event. I think them kind of showing what Claudio's going to represent in this tournament with the match coming up next week of being the kind of big brute guy that it's going to be extremely difficult to get through is really good for Claudio, especially if they're potentially going to make him into the leader of the Death Riders. He's moving with that leader energy.
Both John Moxley and Claudio put 3 points on the board. As we said, they will be facing each other in the Blue League match on Dynamite next week. One of those guys will be coming out of that with 6 points, unless this ends up in a draw.
Hopefully not.
Collision on Thanksgiving night. We got Pac versus Speedball Mike Bailey. Boy, was this a lot of fun.
Yes.
This is another one where you have two high-flying style wrestlers, but they wrestle completely different. Pac is so physical. He was beating this guy down every time he got a chance. Like, even when he's getting him down to the ground and trying to lock the brutalizer in, he's just like stomping on him and like hitting him with these forearms. Like, man, what a great match. Speedball is never not fun to watch, and I feel like they haven't even scratched the surface with the guys they could put him in there with.
Yep.
There's so many more dream matches for Speedball. Pac was one of those matches that I wouldn't necessarily call.
Hello. Oh.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, you went out for a little bit. Yeah, this is one of the matches when Speedball was announced of in AEW. I'm like, damn, that Pac match is going to be something. And this was that. I feel like there was a fourth or fifth gear that they could get into, given a really long pay-per-view match. But this is all the fun elements that I was hoping for. I love the point of what you're describing is Pac was beating this guy's ass for a lot of the match, like trying to ground him, keeping him in, staying really close, not having too much space between it. It got to a point where Speedball was like, oh, I gotta fight this guy. Like he's slamming me against all these things, put me in these uncomfortable positions. I have to utilize my kicks. I have to utilize what brought me to the dance. And then Speedball started throwing some kicks that were like, damn, he's really letting Pac have it in this match. Like he's bringing the fight back to him. But Pac is he's been locked into a different mode. Like he hasn't smiled. He's in the same kind of energy that Claudio's giving up. He's giving that up of like, I'm locked in. I have a purpose here. I'm in here to beat you. And then I'm going to brutalize you, pun intended, to end the match. Just a vicious looking guy, man. But this match is so much fun. I love them kind of both utilizing kicks to try to neutralize their opponent. That the point where they did the double downs, they did the one in the ring, and then they fought to the outside and did the same thing on the outside, and both took incredibly hard bumps. Like this was Continental Classic, what defines it. This match, and I feel like the Darby and Kevin Knight match of just like kind of balls to the wall. These guys are one-on-one. They might go 20 minutes. They're going 1,000 miles per hour. You're seeing the strength of both guys in the match. Like super fun stuff.
Yeah. I like also that they put over in this match that once Speedball hits the ultimate weapon, it's kind of over. Pac avoided it the entire match, and that's how he ended up winning. I mean, the way that he basically stomped him out to set up the brutalizer at the end was just disgusting. Just a very, very violent, very very ripped guy it's just so funny because this guy is essentially a cruiserweight, does not wrestle like a cruiserweight.
No, not at all. He wrestles like he's the biggest guy in the company, and I just love that, man. Like Pac's another one of those, like he could be heated up as a heel, and like he's always going to be a contender for someone's championship.
Yeah, this was a lot of fun. The main event was Konosuke Takeshita versus Roderick Strong. This was kind of quick. It was kind of quick and to the point. Roddy's one of those guys where he can have great matches with multiple kind of opponents. So I'm sure he's going to have like some standouts in this tournament. I didn't think that this match was as good as some of the other matches we got in the first week, but it did what it's supposed to. I think mostly because it kind of felt predictable. The second you put Takeshita in there with Roddy, it's like, okay, Takeshita's winning this match. I never at one point felt like Roddy had a chance of winning.
Yeah, I think that's the difference between the other matches, because like even the shock wins, I felt like those guys could win though. Like I felt like Fletcher could win. I felt like Jet Knight could win. This time I didn't feel like there was any world where Roddy was going to beat Takeshita. I think Takeshita's a lot of people's pick to win this tournament. So we knew that he was going to start it off in a certain way. And I think that the way that they booked this match, they kind of added to that predictability. And so it wasn't a bad match at all, but I think that kind of played into why it felt like it did. But like, I'm excited for both these guys in the tournament. I think Takesha's going to go on to have some incredible ones. And I think Roddy's going to not surprise, but he's going to have a lot of sleeper hits in this like he always does.
Yes. Pac picked up a win. He's got 3 points in the gold league. Takeshita picked up a win as well. He added 3 points to the board. So far, both leagues, there's a 3-way tie for first place. Claudio Castagnoli, John Moxley, Takeshita are tied in blue league. In the gold league, Kevin Knight, Kyle Fletcher and Pac are all tied. Yeah, I think with the story they're telling, I think it makes all the sense in the world that Takeshita and Okada are in separate leagues, so we don't see them probably into the end. I have to assume that's probably going to be the Continental Classic finals this year at World's End. I do think there's a good chance like the Blue League finals comes down to Takeshita versus either Claudio or Mox. Because I do think that the Mox Claudio stuff is going to play into the finals of Blue League. On the Gold League, I mean, it's really Okada's league to win. I don't see, like, I think that like he can have fun matches with the rest of that field, but the Gold League is really Okada's to win. And I think they're setting up this idea of Okada's been calling himself the best tournament wrestler coming into this tournament. He's, of course, the defending Continental Classic champion, and he's going up against a guy that just won the G1 Climax. How many times are you going to get that kind of matchup? And so I think that that's how this is going to play out. The idea of Takeshita potentially winning a Continental Classic and G1 in the same year is fire. But in order to do that, you're going against a guy that has done what you've done already, that has been in your shoes, has won a G1 Climax, has won multiple G1 Climaxes. There's a reason why he's considered the greatest tournament wrestler in the world, or at least he's made that his claim to fame. And I like that build a lot. I think that makes a lot of sense, especially with what you're setting up for Wrestle Kingdom, for New Japan lore to play into this. So, yeah, but I assume we're going to get also some kind of resolution to this mock stuff by World's End at this point. I know some people thought that maybe he was going to get jumped out on Dynamite, but with the start of the tournament, I didn't feel like that made sense. I do think that the stuff between him and Claudio and the rest of the members is going to continue to escalate during the tournament.
Yeah, the way that you just broke it down, it's like the tournament feels predictable, but like I want it to get to that point though. Like everything you're saying is like it feels like that's the natural progression of Takeshita and Okada, but that story's so fire. It's like the G1 winner potentially becoming the Continental Classic winner, taking on the greatest G1 winner, taking on the greatest tournament. Like all of that story is so dope, but it's like we're kind of going to be slowly walking the dog to get there because we know kind of the outcomes. But I think with the people in this tournament, we're going to have a bunch of fire matches on the way, so it doesn't matter. So I'm like, damn, this has me in a bunch of different emotions, I feel. I guess that's a good thing about the Continental Class. We're going to end up with Takeshita and Okada, and that matters more than anything.
Yes. But yeah, so far so good. We've got 3 Continental Classic matches already announced for Dynamite. As we said, Claudio Castagnoli versus John Moxley, Kazuchika Okada versus Pac, and Kyle Fletcher versus Kevin Knight. All 3 of those matches sound like heat. We've seen like a variation of the Okada Pac match. I believe that was Okada's first pay-per-view match, right? That was the Dynasty match.
Yep. That was one that they threw Okada right into the fire, and we knew exactly what was going to go on here. So that's going to be insane. It's good to see those guys in they're different wrestlers than they were then. This is going to be different stakes and all this added to this. So that should be pretty fire.
Yep. Send us your super chats. That's the best way to get your chats read on this podcast. You can also send us a Humper chat at humperchats.com/Fightful.
Of course. Appreciate you guys. We're going to get into a couple of these super chats and move forward. Ben Sifner says Dom and The Miz greater than Cody and Punk. What, Ben?
Ben, I'm not biting on this, buddy. I'm not accepting this. Stop it. Leave me alone.
They've been trying to get Phil this whole pod, and it hasn't worked, and I don't think it's going to work, you guys, but I appreciate the effort, Ben. Appreciate you. The other Mikey V says Kevin Knight versus Kyle is a pay-per-view main event in the year. Yeah, the match, like Phil just described, announced for Wednesday. a lot of people are saying in a year, this will main event in 2 years. This is going to be for the AEW World Championship. Legit, the future of this company with these two guys. That match should be fucking incredible.
Yes.
Appreciate that, Mike. Issa Davis says, I hate when people say they want Vince back. Do you not remember the 2010s? He almost killed wrestling, and Michigan is going to beat Ohio State.
Yeah, I saw a lot of that on Monday of people saying, why is this a bad thing? We need more Vinceisms back. Like we need a balance between Vince's ideas and Triple H's ideas, or we could just, come with some new ideas.
Yes.
New ideas are good too. It's okay.
New ideas are sick, Phil. Like a new idea, something we've never seen before, that's going to change the game. Great. Amazing. Awesome. That made me think of fucking Vince Russo stuff this week. I'm like, what if we just leave all these grandpas out of here?
Man.
I don't want your old ideas. We don't need this stuff. Keep them, dog. You can have it.
Yeah, there were a few of those this week where I was just like, nah, it's okay. We don't need it. We don't need that opinion. It's okay. You can keep it.
We don't need it. We don't need that. It's not helpful. It's not helping anybody. Appreciate that, Issa David. Glizzy God says, congrats to Claudio for picking up the CMLL heavyweight belt. Hope he actually defends it. Dorada is 24. Kevin Knight is 28. Also, Chinga La Migra. Sorry. Appreciate that, Glizzy God. Under 30s, man. There's some crazy under 30s, you guys, and it's fixed. That's all I'm saying.
Not
doing it, Phil. Not doing it. The homie Dan Jackson says, how Okada has 3 photos still on the AEW page. Yeah, he's listed 3 times on the title page, but I thought that was just a glitch. That's a real thing, they say.
No, I understood, because like I said, Tony from the beginning has said the lineage for both of those belts still exists. But I don't think you can call a belt unified if it's not actually unified. I don't know.
That's it. But it is Okada. He's flexing, Dan, so I see it. The homie Grapple Geekery says, Callis hasn't come within light years of Jericho or the D-Riders for me yet. It doesn't have the self-congratulatory Jericho-isms or incomprehensible motivations and promos of Mox or repetitious matches. It does definitely have the Chris Jericho element on it. I just think you're not seeing it.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. A big part of it is this of him getting paintings of him. Yeah. A lot of this is some of it is very, I mean, the name of the family is, he could have called this anything. It's the Don Callis family.
Yes.
There are definitely some similarities to the Jericho Vortex. I don't think it has been as bad personally, but there are some similarities for sure.
Every time we mention the Don Callis family, we say this guy's name. So like, There's something in there. Like, you can't mention Hechicero, you can't mention Josh Alexander, you can't mention Okada and Takeshita without being the Don Callis family. So I think there is some of that in there. Appreciate that, guy.
I think the thing that's saving it right now is that the Okada stuff is so good, and they've got a good storyline with him and Takeshita, and even Fletcher being thrown in the middle. I think the core of it is good, and that's why I haven't been too down on it yet. But there are like question marks in it. Like, what happened to El Klein? Like, what happened there? Like,
what is that?
He's just there. He hasn't had a match yet. Yeah, there's some there's reasons to criticize it. I haven't gotten there yet where I'm tired of it, but there's reason to criticize it.
The thing that's going to continue to save them is they got so many hitters, though. Like everybody you described, they're all some of the best wrestlers in the world. So like, they're always going to have that element no matter what. It's going to be like, well, they're still fucking Kyle Fletcher and Okada and Josh Alexander and Hechicero and fucking all these incredible guys. So it doesn't matter. Appreciate that, Grapple Geekery. The homie Young Odo says, I figured Tekla versus Ty Mello on Collision was how they set up Chris versus Tekla for World's End.
Yeah, I assume like some variation of Statlander versus somebody out of that match is probably how we get there. But you've got Jamie Hayter in the mix too.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah, they need something for Stat and World's End, and I think that could be a good opponent for us. So I guess we'll see moving forward.
Yeah, I think Tekla makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
It could turn into a triple threat match, maybe.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Maybe that's why Jamie's in the mix.
I'm intrigued.
Saying in our chat that Sean has confirmed that El Klein is injured, which is crazy because we haven't seen him wrestle yet. So that means that both El Klein, that means everybody involved in this story that was supposed to be his debut is hurt now, including Hologram.
Yes. Fuck, that's fucked up. That sucks. Speedy recovery to everybody involved because that's unfortunate. And then Dan Jackson says Okada is up there with 50 for Petty of the Week.
Yeah, no. When they were given all these things that they were thankful for on Collision on Thanksgiving, and he's just like, I'm thankful I don't have to team with Takeshita again.
That was up there. Yeah, definitely up there. Shout out to Okada. Definitely always on the Petty of the Week list. That's all of our super chats.
Yeah. Yeah. He Don immediately started making excuses for him, and it was just like, yeah, this maybe not. But yeah, I can't figure out Don's angle there. It feels like he's instigating. It feels like he keeps trying to throw all these backhanded compliments at Takeshita too, like, yeah, you are the first member of this family. But then you let Okada talk to him that way, and you kind of keep letting him throw all these jabs at him.
It's a lot of disrespect. Like, you supposed to be my mans? What's up with this?
Yeah. I don't think we have any Humper chats. I will double check.
Mm-hmm.
Don't think that we do. Come on, reload.
Humpies.
Okay, we have a few. We got one from Leron 40. Says rant incoming. The women's tag team tournament feels like it's been brought to you by Here Damn, and there was no care involved in planning of this whatsoever. Look at this tournament compared to the men's tournaments in AEW. It's just a mess. I don't think the initial idea of it felt that way. I think the initial announcement was pretty good. I think the feel for the tournament has actually been pretty good. I just think once we got past the opening round into the semifinals, it's been a bit convoluted. And it's I don't know why we can't just do a straightforward tournament. I don't know why we needed the stipulation match. I don't know why we needed this four corners match at the pay-per-view. I don't know why you didn't just do one of the semifinals matches at the tournament. At the pay-per-view instead. I don't know. But I think at the very least, this has done what it's supposed to do for the women. It's given the women more opportunities. It's given the women more spots on TV. Yeah. I wish that it was done better, but I don't know if I can say it's totally Here Dan, because at least the women are getting opportunities. At least they're getting screen time.
Yeah, they're on TV, so that's worth something, and I'll take that over nothing for sure. But the way that it's been executed has been not the greatest, I would say. I think the field, like you said, has been great, but some of the results haven't been what people have been expecting. And I think that, just establishing the championships is going to mean a lot for the division. But, there's some extra things that were added on that maybe muddied up what was going on. But I think it's worth it having them on TV. I kind of wish they would have had this tournament and the blood and guts stuff separate times, because I feel like they were trying to tell stories about the tournament with the build up to blood and guts and what happened into the match, but I think it was just too much going on at the same time when there should have been more focused on each event separately.
Yeah, I agree. I think that's part of it. I think that these two things should have been done separately, but I can't say like that this hasn't been beneficial for the women. I think like Blood and
Right.
Guts in particular was very beneficial for the women. I thought that they stole the show in that episode of Dynamite. Their Blood and Guts match was the best Blood and Guts match of the night. And I think when given the women the opportunities in this tag tournament, they have shined. But I don't think the execution has been perfect, of course. But I understand where you're coming from. Leroy Ford continues. He says, nothing about this women's tag tournament has felt special or important. They announced the new men's title in the middle of it, crowned a champion at Full Gear when they could have just finished the women's tag tournament there. And he continues, and now the finals of the tournament are going to be overshadowed by the C2. TK's heart clearly is not in this like it is for the men's tournament, and it shows. I can see where you're coming from. I think at the very least, the women are showing out. Like when the women are getting opportunities, they've showed out. I think it's going to be disheartening for some people if we get to the end of this and Tony and Mina just wins, because you're going from people being ready for a new world champion to just putting another belt on Tony. And I can't say that that's the wrong decision, but I do think some people are going to reject that. I do think some people are going to be annoyed by that.
Agreed.
But yeah, I think you had too many things happening at once. I don't understand why you started a Statlander Willow storyline where they reunite and you didn't finish that off in time for the tournament so that they could be in the tournament. And then you start a world title reign with Statlander, and so now you still have that dangling plot thread that you've never addressed while you have a tag team tournament going on. That's kind of a odd decision. There's also like people were upset with the way Ty J were booked, but I think if you had put Ty J on TV more and you had given them more reps going into this tournament, they would have felt like, conceivable winners. They didn't feel like conceivable winners because all of the other teams and wrestlers separately were on TV more.
Right. Yeah, and I think there's some a line of people that think that introducing the national men's title also at the same time has played a role, and like just a lot going on at the same time that kind of surrounding the women's tag team championship and division. But I'm just on the side of Phil. I think of like, regardless of this, anytime the women are given a shot, they fucking knocked it out of the park. All their matches have been great. Everything building to the championships have been awesome. So I think we'll just take that for now.
Yeah. Again, it hasn't been perfect, but I think at the very least we've gotten some good moments out of this. I hope that they can build upon this and build like a healthy tag division for the women. I know one of the worries with establishing tag belts is, getting there before you have the teams that could fill out the division. I think they have enough women now to fill out the division. They have enough teams to fill out the division, but you just have to book the women consistently. I think that's the big thing.
That's it. Let's see if they can keep doing that.
But, I think it's fair to have like annoyances with AEW's women's division and the way that the women are utilized, because it's been such a big criticism of the company since day one. And I do think, of course, that Tony has made a ton of progress, but there are some things that I still don't get. Like there are still spots that I think, he could, put more emphasis on. He could, I think, we could have gotten a women's main event for a pay-per-view by now and not something like a co-main event.
Right. Yeah. I think they have to get to it so it becomes the norm, because like now I feel like they're waiting for the moment. They're waiting for this crazy moment, but it has to just like, we just got to start doing them. So we don't have to celebrate them in this huge way. It's just the norm.
Yeah. I think the big positive out of this over the tournament, I just keep going back to the blood and guts match is a big tournament, is a big turning point here, because I do see us getting another women's blood and guts match because this one was so successful.
Yep.
But yeah, and then we've got other things coming out of this, like curious to see how they book Mercedes going forward. Like, what are we going to do with the TBS title? Because I do think she's outgrown that belt. But I think that they have so many good options now. I think it's different than 3 years ago.
Totally.
Where I would have been more concerned if you had this many belts for the women, because I don't think that the division was nearly as talented as it is now back then.
Yeah, I feel like it's better than even a year ago, because I feel like there's contenders for every championship, like the World's Women's Championship, the TBS Championship, and the Tag Team Championships are going to have people that could fill those slots immediately, compared to like we'd have to build all these women up like a year, 2, 3 ago. Now it's like they have so many talented women on the roster that beyond the championships, we could have non-title feuds and all these things going on. So we're at a definitely better place. We definitely need to improve and get farther, but it's in a really good place with the women that they have present.
Yeah, that's my thinking. EPW show. That's why I can't say that it's a wrong decision to potentially put the belts on Tony and Mina, because I do think, Tony's gonna get TB time. We know that, and so I think that guarantees that the tag titles will be visible if you put them on Tony and Mina. But I do think some people are going to be annoyed by that, because I think it's going to turn into, we'll do something new, make somebody new champions, and you know how it goes. So I foresee that being the talking point if they win.
They definitely should use Tony's star power, though. Like, if Tony's going to be on TV, if Tony's going to be presented the same way, they should use that. They should use the tag team championships off the backs of that. Like, that's not a problem with that.
Yeah. Got this pay-per-view tonight. Might as well run down this quick 4-match card. Survivor Series War Games will be taking place in San Diego, California, Petco Park. I will be on a post show with Joel for Fightful tonight after the pay-per-view. I think it's 7 p.m. Eastern. Yeah, 7 p.m. Eastern time. And then we have the card in front of me. We've got 4 matches. We've got John Cena taking on Dominic Mysterio for the WWE Intercontinental Championship. I kind of feel like they're just going to put the belt back on Dom.
Because do you need John Cena to be Intercontinental Champion for his last match? Do you want Gunther to win that championship? Like, what's the point of him being Intercontinental Championship instead? Besides just like that accolade because he's retiring.
Yeah, I don't think it hurts anything if he holds the belt to his last match, but I kind of feel like the entire purpose of having him win in Boston was just to get that accolade and make him a Grand Slam champion before he retired. I don't think they actually had a long-term plan for it. It feels like Dom is just going to cheat tonight and end up champion again.
Should be a big win for him, though, in San Diego, his hometown.
I mean, we're clearly building to some stuff with Dom and Ray. I'm assuming there's going to be a one-on-one match somewhere down the line. So, but I mean, I would think if you're going to do that kind of match, you do it for the AAA belt.
Right. Eventually.
Yeah. But, no Glizzy God. Cena has not defended that belt. So he just won it. And that's why I'm like, I feel like he's just going to lose tonight. This was just checking a box, giving him an accolade, and it's going to go right back to Dom.
Good for Dom, I guess. 2 Cena matches.
Yeah, I guess. I guess. We've also got Stephanie Becker versus Nikki Bella for the WWE Women's World Championship. This build has been kind of weird. I think we all could see that Nikki was going to turn. I think they telegraphed it, and I think it's the right move. Nikki Bella is still in this. She's kind of in this bizarre place with WWE where it's hard to tell where she belongs in the current iteration of the women's division because she's so synonymous with a time period that they've tried to get away from. And AJ Lee is different because AJ Lee, you could see EX era. Nikki Bella is like I said, synonymous with the era. Total Bellas, Total Diva, longest reigning Divas champion. Charlotte beating Nikki Bella and then going on to bring back the women's championship at WrestleMania that year. It's hard to look past that and go, okay, well, Nikki Bella can still come back and do things because I don't think it's a matter of whether Nikki Bella can hang with some of these wrestlers. I think that she can. I think people that unfairly act like she can't are people that just never thought she could wrestle to begin with. But I think the problem is, like I said, you saddled her with so much of the stuff from an era that most of us thought was the most creatively bankrupt period for the women. And so every time she comes back, the fans are just like, oh, Nikki Bella again. And then you'll kind of do the same kind of stuff with her. Like you'll have somebody cut the same kind of promos with her where she hasn't accomplished anything. I thought that during the Evolution build as well with Ronda Rousey. It's like, okay, well, I thought we've gotten past this kind of promo with Nikki. AJ Lee cut that promo on her years before that, and you had Ronda come out there to do the same thing, and it paints Nikki in an unfavorable light. And I think it's kind of unfair to her the way that they put her in that position. And they've done it more than once. And I say all that to say that you did the turn. She came out and attacked Stephanie. And then there was really nothing after that. They didn't have them on this week to promote this. They didn't even do like a contract signing. They didn't do like a segment. And I'm sure some of that is Stephanie is limited in how much you can do in promos with Nikki, but I do think that they should have done more for this build.
Yeah, it's interesting how they, like you described, kind of treat Nikki Bella as a nostalgia act. Like sometimes they're like, look at what she's done. She's a legend. She's a Hall of Famer. She's all this. And then when you try to mix that in with the current crop, it's like she kind of sticks out like a sore thumb, and you see her generation towards this generation and how different they feel, but they keep trying to tell us around every corner that it's not that, it's fine, she can compete with these, and they've shown us that they can. But then, like you said, they'll have them do a promo where they're like, well, you still don't deserve to be here, we're so much better than your generation, and they try to like attack that thing that makes her who she is. And so it's like the fans don't know how to treat her. They don't know if like she's acting like a heel,
Yes.
but she's done so much. She's acting like a heel, but she's done so much for the business that they respect her and they want to cheer her. But then like they keep sending these confusing kind of signals on who she is. And then it's like, does anybody think she's going to beat Stephanie in this match today also? So it's like, there's a bunch of emotions kind of attached to this. It's like, what is this leading to? Why do they have her in this position? What's Stephanie gonna do? It's just kind of a confusing booking.
It is. I think at this point when you bring her back, it's hard to make her a babyface because of course she has like her rabid fans. She has her stand base that will cheer her no matter what. But I think that there is a large subset of WWE fans that are like, oh, she's just a reality star, or she just got this position because of this or this, whatever reasons you can come up with, that she dated John Cena or whatever other reasons, besides the fact that this woman did work hard and she was the face of that era of women's wrestling for a reason. And I just think that with this heel turn, they haven't really done the work to flesh out why she's a heel. I think for people like us that watch it, it's like, okay, yeah, you're gonna have to turn a heel because a lot of fan base is not gonna cheer her. But what is her motivation to do any of this? Like, what's the reason for it? And I don't think they ever really told us that.
They're just like, she's a legend, she should be champion. It's like, yeah, but like, what else?
Yeah, I mean, you kind of created like ideas around why she would have turned because she was frustrated. She came back and she did try hard and she lost the match to Becky, and then people were unfairly critical of her sometimes, but it's just something to connect the dots. I think that was missing. And I mean, I don't think it helped that they had to pivot because it seemed like she was supposed to have a match with Liv at Evolution, and then Liv got hurt. So I think some of this is they had to pivot, but they haven't done the best job with that. But yeah, Stephanie Vaquera is winning here. I don't see a world where Stephanie Vaquera loses to Nikki Bella out of nowhere. But then again, I was sitting here saying last week, I don't see a world where Hangman loses. So
anything is possible these days, and because they don't. These are the only 2 title matches on the show tonight. Maybe they want to have 2 changes or some shock or something added on to it,
Yeah, but I think the Dominic match is where we're going to get the title change, and then I think Nikki Bella is going to retain.
Yeah.
RP is making a good point. If Nikki Bella does win, I do think that that's where we get to Liv Morgan in return.
Is she ready to come back?
There's been rumors floating around. People seem to think that she was in this video package that they aired and they just weren't ready to show her yet. That was the talking point this week because they did the same teaser that they did for the men playing poker, and that was a teaser for the women's vignette for WrestleMania 42, and then they put the poster out, which is cool. Good for the women. I thought that they picked all of the right women for there. It was great to see Io in there. She belongs up there. Really wild to see Jade in the mix. Of course, she's the women's champion, so she should be, but it's just how quickly things have gone from her in the last 2 years. Very glaring that Bianca's not there. Yeah. I don't know what the status is with this injury, but we need Bianca back soon.
Yeah, the Bianca saga and injury thing is unfortunate because like what she represents, and she's still like in her prime, and like they need her so bad. So hopefully she comes back soon.
Yes. But yeah, at one point in this video package, there's another blonde hair in there, and people are like, it's Liv. And like her fan base on Twitter is like, she's in it, guys. Stop trying to say she's not in it. She's right there. Like, and so people think that eventually they're going to show the whole video package and Liv will be in there. I don't know if that's true, but I do think that Liv will probably be back before WrestleMania.
Gotcha.
And I don't, if for some reason Nikki Bella wins here, which I don't know why you would do that. And of course, that's not a knock to Nikki, but I don't know why you would take the belt off of Stephanie so soon. And I don't know why you would do it in this way to set up Nikki Bella as a heel champion going forward, even if it's to have somebody for Liv to wrestle. I don't know why you would do that. That doesn't really make sense.
Don't do it.
But then we have the 2 War Games matches. We have the women's team of Rhea Ripley, Io Sky, Alexa Bliss, Charlotte Flair, and AJ Lee taking on Nia Jax, Lash Legend, the Kabuki Warriors, and Becky Lynch. I think that the build for the War Games matches have been a bit rushed. But out of the 2, I'm at least more intrigued in the women's match.
Yep.
I think that they have more interconnected stories in a women's match that I'm interested in. The Kabuki Warrior stuff with Io and Rhea Ripley from earlier this year is playing out here. And then you have the AJ and Becky Lynch stuff also playing out here. Becky has had a controversial week coming out of this interview with her and Seth. Her and Seth said quite a few things that seemed to upset people, including this quote about Lacey Evans, which I didn't understand why people got so upset about it, because it kind of felt like this is normal wrestler complaining about their booking stuff. Like, this is something that she's been thinking for all this time, and she finally got a chance to say it. And people were trying to make it out to be that she was burying Lacey, and I didn't read it that way. I think she just didn't agree with the booking decision. I don't think it was like, oh, who is this? She's never done anything in wrestling. She's beneath me. I think it was, why am I wrestling her now at the height of my career as a double champion coming out of WrestleMania when you've done nothing to make her feel like a credible threat to me?
The reason that I was like, why are people mad, is because she was right. We saw it with our own eyes, you guys. We were all like, why is Becky in a feud with fucking Lacey Evans? This makes zero sense. So when people are like, oh, she's burying Lacey, I'm like, first of all, Lacey don't even work here. So how could she bury somebody that doesn't fucking work here? But at the end of the day, she was correct.
Some of the takes in response to it were interesting, but some of it is that, people don't like Becky, or people see Becky as a politicker. And this was more that they just saw it as, oh, well, what makes you too good to work with Lacey, even though she spent this year as IC champion working with two new wrestlers and giving them opportunities. But and then I got into, well, what has she really done for Maxine? Did she really put Maxine over? And I'm just like,
all right,
she's champion. She's the IC champion. I think that the heels have to win one of these things, because for the last few years, the babyface team has won.
Yeah, it seems like Bianca. There's been a couple of vehicles to get baby faces over with the women's War Games match. So yeah, I think you're right. I think the heels do need to go over on one of these.
Yeah, I mean, they did Damage Control as the team in the War Games match, I think like 2 years in a row, and both times Damage Control lost. The baby faces won. The heels have to win one of these things. And I think it makes sense for it to be this time around, because the Kabuki Warriors lost at WrestlePalooza. I think this is the way that you keep Kabuki Warriors and, the new team of Nia and Lash on top. And that's also more set up potentially for Becky versus AJ Lee.
Right.
So I'm predicting that the heels are going to win.
What's your take on AJ Lee being a part of this match? What kind of role do you think she's going to have in this?
I think the War Games match is an easy place to put her in, because it's the same. It's kind of like what they did with Punk last year, where you can have her come in last, like get a few spots in, and cover for her not being in a match long.
Right. Yeah. And it's a plunder match. They usually structure these out a certain way. This probably is one of the best ways to have her involved with a bunch of people on the roster too, and have some new matchup, but still kind of protecting her in a way.
Yeah, and you can have you can put her in a mix with certain wrestlers that she hasn't worked already. Like already just the idea of her in the mix with Asuka, that's interesting. Like I think it's a good use of AJ Lee. And you haven't had her on TV for an extended amount of time at one point. And so I think bringing her back in time for Survivor Series and dropping the Stephanie interview and everything makes sense.
Stephanie's Pieces, or whatever her pod's called. Interesting, funny stuff, man. Funny stuff going on there.
You're thinking of the ESPN show she did. That was Stephanie's Place.
My bad.
The podcast is different. Called? The podcast is it's at the tip of my tongue. I know it, but it's just like, for whatever reason, I'm blanking on it. What's your story? Is the name of it.
What's your story? That is what it's called.
What's your story?
Right.
Yeah, the clip of her asking about the infamous AJ Lee tweet in response to her sharing the Patricia Arquette quote was very interesting. I don't know how to read that because most of what this company does is calculated. They tried to put it as well. AJ wanted to answer that question. She didn't want to do the podcast unless we address the elephant in the room. And I could see AJ feeling that way, but I could also see it as, okay, we're gonna have her on this podcast. We should address one of the most salacious things between me and you, and do it in a way that both protects AJ Lee's reputation, but also gives Steph way of acting like this was a learning experience. Like, I'm not mad at you for saying that. Like, of course, it made me look bad in the moment, but I'm so glad that you said that because we did need to progress and we did need to move forward as a company.
So funny. Look at, and two people can get together even after having a little spat on the internet. It's fine. It's chill. This is a big, happy family company over here. I'm like, all right, I see what's going on here.
Yeah. Mac, that's funny. Max says, I disagree with Becky. Orton, Nakamura, and Styles had no problem losing to a hot shot push to Jinder. None of them have said if they did not agree with that. But I would bet that that might not be the case. And let's not act like having Nakamura lose to Jinder Mahal twice was good. That was a bad idea. That was terrible.
Bad booking for sure. Horrible timing.
That was bad booking. And again, I think if her thing was just that, oh, I'm not gonna lose to Lacey. Lacey is beneath me. I could see it. But she's coming out of a WrestleMania match where she beat Ronda Rousey. Nobody had beat Ronda Rousey up to that point. She's holding both of the women's championships. Yeah, I should be facing somebody that is a believable threat. And Lacey didn't do anything up to that point. Lacey was just coming out, doing her entrance, waving to people, and coming back in. She wasn't having matches. They just put her in a position to wrestle the biggest star in the company coming out of WrestleMania with nothing to lead up to it.
That's the difference with like the Jinder Mahal stuff. Becky was the biggest wrestler in the entire company, man or woman. Like, it's completely different. And they were like, essentially put you in with this rookie. Like, no, that doesn't make sense at all. Nobody believed for 1 second that Lacey Evans was going to do anything against Becky. And it wasn't and Becky wasn't even at the point that people think she is now, where she's beating everybody. It was like, we just want somebody believable in there. And Lacey wasn't believable at all.
And then the feud went on too long.
It's way too long.
She got 2 matches out of it, and then a mixed gender match, a mixed tag match. I thought it was interesting that Becky was saying she didn't like having to do the couple stuff on TV initially either, because they were still trying to figure out like their chemistry as an actual couple, and then they were being forced on TV, and it just wasn't good. And I was like, I mean, it wasn't good.
We could see. We have eyes.
Yeah. Yeah. But I think she's in that spot now where a lot of things she says just don't help her case, because people are like, oh, well, we've already made up our mind that this is who you are. And so everything you say now confirms in our mind that this is who you are. I think Seth kind of has that too. Seth absolutely doesn't help himself with some of his quotes. But I think she sometimes falls in that same mindset as him, where she says things that maybe you could have kept that one. I agree with you. You're probably right. But the fans are, a lot of times, they're not going to see it that way.
Right. They say things that they think are going to help their case, and they backfire. Like, that's what a lot of this interview felt like. If they were trying to tell their stories and be like, you guys shouldn't be a certain way because of this. And then the fans are like, actually, that helps. That makes us hate you even more. And it's like, these are fans that were never going to not be in that position.
Yeah, Tony, the Cybertruck thing is big Seth Rollins fan, but he can say and do things that are very tone deaf quite often.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like this was one of those, like, yeah, no. This is very much first world problems, where it's like
Definitely.
we're getting flipped off for being in a very expensive car, but all these people are acting like we support Elon Musk, but it's not that we support Elon Musk. We're environmentalists, and it's like, yeah, but also Elon Musk is attached to this shitty presidential run and a lot of other things that people are very rightfully upset at Elon Musk for. And so, yeah, his entire brand of Tesla and those trucks is going to piss people off.
Yes. There are other electric cars.
Yeah,
is what
you're
I'm
getting out of
saying.
your car.
They're them being like, we're environmental. We just like the electric thing. I'm like, I would you too, but like, that's not the only electric car on the market, you guys.
Yeah. And yeah, this homeboy walking up the street with his dog, that's the guy that you felt like, this is the one. I'm getting out of my car for this guy. Yeah. No, that don't make you look great, Seth, man. It just it's like I said in our group chat, he definitely strikes me he strikes me as a let me see the manager type guy. Bring me your manager.
Mm-hmm. Run him down. Bring him out here right now. I need to talk to him. I'm a powerful wrestler and I can have this place shut down.
Not even I'm a powerful wrestler. He strikes me as a guy comes in, sits down. You see this? How do they not have water at the tables when we come and sit down? We're supposed to have water at the tables. Get the manager out here right now. Where's the water? Where's the water?
Yes. When they were talking this story going viral this week, I'm like, why would he tell that story? Is what I'm trying to think.
Because he wants y'all to know that he was upset at that moment. Why do you have a fork and napkin and I don't? Where's my napkin? Get the server over here. He strikes me as that kind of guy for sure, bro.
Not fork and napkin beef. That's crazy.
Seth, man, that clip of him killing that chicken is hilarious, though.
Mm-hmm.
He's eating that chicken like he hasn't eaten in days, bro. It's so funny, man.
Oh God.
Yeah, man. This guy back on TV. He's got too much time on his hands.
A lot of time. He's doing a lot of stuff.
Yeah, Mac, he talks about why he left social media a little bit. I haven't watched this entire interview. I've only seen some of the clips, but one of the clips I saw, he talked about why he left social media and how it was affecting his personal life. And I was just like, never in a good place when you start doing that. So I'm glad that he stopped. And in the vein of what I've said before, that he's a lot like the guy on TV that he hates. I do think it is very funny and ironic that both of them are only posting on IG.
Mm-hmm. Both Instagram boys.
He has a lot of similarities to Punk, and I think that's why his rivalry with him on TV works so much, because they're very similar in a lot of ways.
They are.
The men's War Games match, speaking of CM Punk, Cody Rhodes, the Usos, and Roman Reigns will be taking on Braun Breaker, Bronson Reed, Logan Paul, Drew McIntyre, and Brock Lesnar. When I tell you I was in tears at Brock coming in and slipping. A visual of his pyro going off as he's falling. Oh my God, bro. I was dying.
Nice breakdancing move. Unbelievable. Oh yeah, I forgot we can't joke about this thing. People are really upset about jokes about Brock Lesnar falling, I saw this week. Yeah, just a funny bit. I don't know why you can't just laugh at a guy falling because he's an awful human being, they say.
Wait. We were told we don't like fun because we didn't like the segment with the little person, but we can't laugh at a very big guy falling?
Can't laugh at Brock Lesnar. Yeah.
Yeah, no, this was it. That was very funny. Everything about it,
Hilarious.
the pyro going off while he's falling, Paul Heyman just standing there looking at him. he gets up, and like nobody reacts to it. He tries to like play it off by putting his hat on Brian Breaker and like keep moving. And somebody told me like, why didn't anybody like? I didn't see any of those guys laugh. I was like, Brock is a very big guy. I'm not laughing at him either. I would have laughed very hard at it later, but not at his face.
You think I'm gonna be laughing and he's standing right here? No way, 0%. I don't know how he's gonna react to me laughing. I'm chill. I'm gonna have the straightest face. I didn't even see it.
This is a big monster of a man. I'm not about to laugh in his face at him falling. I would have laughed later, but not right there.
Absolutely not. The way that he breakdanced back up to his feet, like all of it is just so silly.
He rolled backwards and got up. Yo, yeah, it was very funny, man. Everything about this return, that 1 week when he jumps up on the apron, he split his pants. It's like everything about this Brock return has been got a lot of unintentionally funny stuff going on.
I like it.
But yeah, we've got some semblance of a build to WrestleMania coming out of the Roman segment from this week. Seems like Roman will eventually be gunning for some championship gold. CM Punk and Cody Rhodes are both holding world championships. There's no way Roman's not main eventing WrestleMania. The report was that the plan was Seth versus Roman Reigns for night 2. Of course, because Rollins got injured, we had to change plans.
Shit. So your match was actually going to happen.
Yeah,
that's crazy.
Yeah. I do think we're going to get more of the build towards that in this match. I do think we're going to have more miscommunications in this match. I'm curious how much Brock is going to want to do in a War Games match. We don't really see Brock in this kind of setting. I do think it's going to be one of those. He's going to be limited. You're going to throw him in certain spots. He's going to come in there and suplex the entire field, and then everybody's going to have to work to try to take him out. That's what I'm guessing we're getting.
You think they bring him in last?
Definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely. I don't think it's going to be one of those things where he comes out first and he's like in the match the whole time. No way. I'm on the fence because I kind of feel like the heel team is going to win. But because Division has been kind of dominating the entire year, I think the vision with Drew and Brock, it kind of feels like the heels are going to win. They're clearly not done with this Drew and Cody feud. We're probably getting another match. I have to assume Logan Paul is probably challenging Punk for the title, which I guess. And the obvious head scratcher here is what's next for Brian Breaker. I feel like the heels need this win. It would be kind of strange if you set up all of these things with Drew gunning for Cody coming out of this and Logan Paul trying to get a title match, and then Brian Breaker trying to exert himself in this world title division coming out of this, and then just have the baby faces beat them.
Yeah, that would. It seems like to progress the stories, the heels winning makes more sense because they need the wins to get to the title matches, and that makes more sense. Yeah, if the babyface just come in and throttle the guys, then like, how do you progress the stories moving forward in that? And like Brock Lesnar being on a team, I'm like, I can't see that team losing.
I think that we're gonna have the collapse of some of this alliance with Roman and Punk and Cody as well. That's going to be part of the setup for WrestleMania season. So yeah, my guess here is that
the heels
are going to win.
I can see it. I think I'm with you.
But we'll see. 4-match card. I thought we were going to get another match added to this card. I thought the Survivor Series style elimination match from SmackDown was going to get added here. They did not add that. I know.
Thinking of a minimum 40,000 people about to pull up to San Diego for just 4 matches is like, what? Huh? But that's what they do these days. That's how it moves.
Yep. Short and sweet. Like I said, Survivor Series will be tonight, 7 p.m. Eastern time. Then tune in afterwards for the post show with me and Joel. Run down this 4-match card. I don't know if we have any more super chats. It's our last call for super chats and humper chats.
We got one more super chat from the homie Grapple Geekery, who says, I mean, the real world Jericho self-congratulation. I don't think Callis himself is doing any of this to stroke his own ego or hurt pride at criticism. One of those things is not true. Do you know who Don Callis is? He's a wrestler. Like, I fucks with you, Grapple
wouldn't be
Geekery,
shocked.
but you don't think you don't think Don Callis is stroking his own ego by being out on 90% of the TV show? Come on. Come on.
Yeah. I think the difference is we know more stuff about Jericho. Like, there's more stuff about Jericho that's apparent.
Definitely.
But yeah, Jericho. I mean, Don's very clearly like an egomaniac. That's kind of the part of the character, is him being this egomaniacal leader where he's taking credit doing anything.
Mm-hmm. And that's the bit. It's fine. I think it works out for him, and like it kind of plays over into the real thing, but it's just a little too much. But like I'm not over it. I think that he has so many heavy hitters that it doesn't matter, so it's fine.
Yeah, Big Don.
Big Don. Oddball Podcast says, what Jadakiss albums are each of you and why? That's a great question. I don't know. Kiss the Game Goodbye maybe is one I am. Whichever one's the most popular, that's me. Now, whichever ones we gonna make it on, because that's one of my favorite songs of all time.
Then what is this question, bro? What is this question, man? Which Jadakiss album are you and why?
What Kiss album are you? Aha! The original Aha for you guys.
So are you saying you're Kiss the Game Goodbye? That's his first album with We Gonna Make It and Knock Yourself Out on it.
Mm-hmm.
Kiss of Death is his second album. Kiss of Death is the album with Y and the record with Mary J, not Mary J, but Mariah on it.
That's the one you are.
Such a weird question. No, we're Friday on Elm Street. That's what we're.
Oh yeah.
There's a collab album.
Mm-hmm. Freddie and Jason. Aha.
Yeah.
Or we could just be Joda and Jada, the podcast, because we're a podcast.
Which one of us tells crazy stories that are probably not true?
I don't think either one of us jumps out the window like Joe does. None of us are captain like this, man. He crazy.
It's some of them stories are flagrant, bro. They had to start a whole bit of throwing the flags at him because them stories are so flagrant.
And he still be trying to be like, no, for reals. And it's like, Joe, come on, man.
Yeah. Yeah, Mac, that is the collab album with Fabulous.
Mm-hmm. Thanks, Van.
Thanks, man. What a question. Appreciate you for grabbing one of our hats. If you want to be
Yes.
like Vin and grab one of our hats, Grapsody.com is where you can get one. I know that because I spend all of my money most of the time on shoes and hats. I have different hats on this show mostly, and
Same.
it's not always our hats, but our hats are dope, man.
I try not to buy so many hats, but every time I see a hat, I'm like, a hat. But yeah, I feel I try most of the time on the pod at least to wear the Grapsody hat because it's so good. Definitely get you one if you are in the mood for one.
Yeah, can also, like I said, check out our full review of Full Gear that is on our YouTube channel. Can also check out our interview with Darius Lockhart. Definitely one of my favorite interviews we've done. I've wanted to interview Darius for a long time. I thought that he was very insightful. I thought that he was very articulate and witty as he always is. And I think what he's trying to do is so commendable, man. It'd be one thing to just constantly complain about a problem without an actual solution for it. And he's come to the table with something that he actually wants to change and what he plans to do about it. And can't do anything but respect that, man. So support what he's doing, support what Ashe is doing. I think that they've got a great thing going on down there. They've got their 2-year anniversary show coming up December 6th. I believe the stream and everything is going to be available on ashe.com. It's not yet, but it will be up soon. As he said in the interview, you can also watch Ashe's shows on YouTube. You can also pay for their Patreon, which is only $7. Quite a deal to be able to go back and watch all their shows. I think it's 11 or 12 shows so far.
Yep. Definitely check out our interview. I'm the same as Phil. That was one of my favorite interviews that we've done collectively. I think a lot of the points and why we do this podcast and why we exist in this space, Darius was kind of getting that same thing over in what Ashe represents and what it is to be a black man in the space. Just very insightful. The kind of questions and things we talked about and want to continuously talk about. We talked about with Darius. So definitely check that out on our YouTube page.
That's all we got for you. We don't have any more Humper chats. I will double check again, just to make sure. I don't want to leave anybody out. I don't want to get a message. Hey, man, you didn't read my chat. Which we rarely do. I feel like I catch all of them.
Yes.
Yeah, that's all of our Humper chats. Appreciate you guys. Appreciate the support as always. Hopefully you guys had a good Thanksgiving weekend. Stay warm. Finish off those leftovers. Don't be in next week eating leftovers, guys.
Yeah, you got it. There's a limit, you guys. It can't be a week. It can't be 2 weeks. It can't be a month. Like, just get to it now, okay?
Yeah. Knock out them leftovers. Don't be in next week eating leftovers because that's crazy. But you know what it is. This is Grapsody. I'm Phil Lindsey. It's Righteous Reg. We are out of here.
Peace.